Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we're going to be playing a little bit of Machine in the Japanese point battles hosted by Nanao. He's doing them every single day up to the, what is it even called? The GRF World Qualification. I don't know if it's still going to have GRF in its name. I haven't really looked into it that much, I guess. Which doesn't really help the fact that I'm going to be away next weekend anyway, so I won't actually have a chance to play in it. But it's going to be the World Rush Qualification, which is... Well, actually, it starts at... So the first stage is this weekend, which is fine. The second stage will be next weekend then. So that's actually not the end of the world. I guess I will be available to play in that at least a little bit. But we're not expecting... Like, we're not going to push top 2. Realistically, I'm not a big fan of the format of 72-hour endless ladder grind. I think that is super toxic. If anyone else is really into that and is going to push for top 2, hats off to you. You're a stronger man than I'm not a fan of that kind of format personally, but it is what it is. So who have we got in chat? We have Drags and we got Icy. Welcome on in, guys. Every single day. Whoa. Yeah, so we're going to be... I'm gone this weekend. So I'm out for this weekend. But the following weekend... Actually, it should be... When is it? It's 7th till the 10th of June. So that'll be... Yeah, the following weekend, the Friday to the Monday. I mean, I'll be available for at least some of that. But again, I'm not planning to go, like, all in on that. Let's just put it that way. But we do have... If we jump over here... The dates already here. It looks like, strangely enough, the first stages are going to go on at the same time, but then Speed Duels Stage 1 is just going to last twice as long. Because, yeah. True, it's toxic, but I guess it's once a year, so it is what it is. It's a weird one, though, right? Because it's the GRF/KC Cup is like 4 times a year. So, like, it's not really once a year. But I guess if you only care about qualifying for Worlds, it's only once a year. So I guess there is that. So, you know, we've only actually got 3 minutes till the point battle starts, so we're not going to be doing too much preamble. But there is also, you know, some new stuff was announced, right? We got some new cards that are coming. That's pretty cool. I don't know if any of these cards specifically are going to be doing anything particularly fancy in speed. All of these cards are cards I'm not super familiar with. I've seen Fortune Tune around before, but I've never played in a game with any of these cards, so. But then we've got Asana, who I think is going to be pretty cool. Wyrms are really, really strong. Boo qualifies, yay Asana. I mean, basically, right, like, I'm still going to play in the qualifiers, but I'm going to play in them for fun, not to qualify. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to even push top 100. I'm just going to try and get good testing in, like, learn the meta, see if there's anything that needs changing. It really sucks as well that the last 2 times that we've actually had a GRF, it was one during just Dragius format, where everyone was basically playing the same deck. And then the second one was during HTI format, where basically everyone was playing the same deck. So I think we're in a much healthier place for this meta. So new box at the end of June then. It will either be end of June, early July. Because Asana could come out, and then we could get a box like a couple weeks after, or we could get a new box with Asana, right? Like, there's multiple ways they could do it. I don't know enough about how Konami likes to release stuff on Duel Links to, like, feel confident in giving an answer to that, but I would expect something there. The interesting thing is going to be, is what Worm cards are we actually going to get? Because there aren't that many great ones. There are some really, really strong ones, but a lot of them are a bit mid. I'm on holiday covering both weekends, so I've had half a mind to try, but I'll get castrated by my GF if I waste the whole holiday playing card games. Yeah, I'm in a similar situation, I guess. But again, I have tried to qualify for Worlds before, twice on speed, like years and years and years ago. One, I got very, very close. The other one was I was a lot further away. But it is draining. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to play that much, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! In a 3-day period, but it is not good. It feels awful. It's draining. It can lead to burnout. You like the real tryhards can, like, really, like, damage their health. Like, it's really not good. I feel like playing a million machine mirrors will eventually get very old fast. The thing is, machines are, I think, strong. And they're, I think, arguably just, like, head and shoulders above the next best deck. But that doesn't mean they can't lose to the next best deck, right? Like, I still think there are still, like, 5, 6, 7 decks that can just beat machines. It's just, are they going to beat them as consistently? Probably not. But I think we will start to see people experiment a little bit with them. How do we want to do this? We'll probably get a tribute set this out. Just because I don't really want him lingering in my hand. He's the only one that I like to tribute set. The other ones I'm always like, nah. You can stay in the hand. But Tough Striker, sometimes I think it is beneficial to tribute set it out. Imagine playing both formats. Ugh, and look at that. Some gross little bots come in. Let's just get rid of that. Snipe. Alright, so we have immediately got an Attrashoot Hydron down. Now, he hasn't revealed his skill yet. There are some people... Well, I suppose we kind of know what he's on. Just immediately. We could use the skill, gain 1,000 attack. We got some machines in the graveyard already. We could get rid of that. That's not a bad shout. How many bodies would we need? We have to shuffle something back. 1, 2, and then 3, which means we wouldn't be able to boost that up. I would get a lot of damage in, but I don't know if it's actually worth. Right, we will go ahead and do this. We're going to activate Ultimate Bond. We're going to reveal the Gold Rush. And we're actually going to put back our set Barrage of Steel. We'll grab this to hand. Then we're going to flip this up. We're going to go ahead and activate its effect. Followed by normal summoning Aim Eagle. We're then going to drop Barrage of Steel. We're going to go ahead and pop this. Then we're going to activate Aim Eagle. We're going to send this and this. And we're going to bring out Gold Rush. Then we're going to normal summon Surge Bicorn. Activate its effect. We'll go ahead and put some cards back. I think these ones are pretty good to put back. Then we're going to normal summon out Mech Lord Mirror Innovator. Summon this. Activate the effective Mirror Innovator. Put these 3 back. And that's lethal. Easy. Oh, we need to save that replay, actually. This is one thing, right? We won the tournament. We won the Grand Prix on machines, and we didn't save any replays because we were too fixated on... Save that? They're going to let me save it twice. I was going to say. Oh, we'll go again. Hello, Quicks. Welcome on in. Quicks with the subscription for 5 months. I think Quicks, or Steve, has got to be one of our most loyal subscribers. I think we've only got, 3 people that have like kept their sub going the whole way through. And Quicks is one of them. Definitely one of the true bros. Repping and supporting the stream.
Quicks just subscribed for 5 months.
Who is Asana?
Who is Asana?
Asana is a... I'll just cough my guts out. Asana is this lovely lady. She is a machine cavalry player, which means that she rides around on diggers, basically. Also, I just want to probably not say that word again, but, you know, electric digging machines. Okay, we can use this to fix our hand a little bit here. So we will reveal that we have this. We are going to just pop it back in because piercing does actually kind of benefit us here. We'll then summon, tribute both. 1, 2. We'll then go ahead and activate the effect. We will simply shuffle back the Aim Eagle. We'll set both of these back row. Then we'll pierce over one of these guys and hope that we hit a good one. Okay, so it is machines. That's probably best for us because it means our trap card will be live. On excavators, yes. That's the one. Excavate is the good word to use. But yeah, it's Worms are very fun. I've always liked the aesthetic of having, like, dragonoid, like, construction workers. I think that's just a really cool idea. And the deck is, like, very fun to play. The deck's always had a massive issue, though, of that it can't get through set 3 pass. So we're hoping for a skill to deal with that. Or they release a more modern card to help deal with that problem, which is also a bit of an issue. Oh, okay, so he's going to summon out another one. That's pretty good for us, though, because he now have 2 7s, which means hopefully he summons... Okay, yeah, that's a lot easier to deal with. Now, we are still going to take some damage here, but it is what it is. We can get rid of one of these monsters. Behold, Combustion Crisis! And I would love to just, you know, get rid of this Steel Mechlord Mirror Innovator. Let's just get rid of that. We'll take the Hundy, we'll take the 15. Nothing we can do about that. That is catastrophic. Okay. We can technically play the game. We can technically play the video game. So we're going to play the video game. We'll reveal that we have the barrel. We're going to put back... Actually, we could just discard that. That's probably better. We'll put this back. We'll grab this out. Then we are going to activate Monster Reincarnation. We're then going to discard this and grab back the normal summon. Then we summon, activate the effect of Aim Eagle to send both to the grave. And then we can get out the Barrel Dragon with an extra 1000 attack. We'll go ahead and activate Barrel Dragon's effect, and we'll just win the 50-50. Easy, easy. There we go. See, no problem. We'll go to battle, and we'll just swing over this. And then we'll pass. The only thing we could have done better there was we should have sent this Barrage Drill back instead, because there wasn't a delay on the attack. So now he knows if he has back row hate, he knows to hit this one. Ultimate Bond. Okay. Oh, heck, is that Aim Eagle? So we know he's got the Gold Rush. And we know he's going to gain 1,000. If he can't pop our back row, though, we are in such an okay position right now. He is being smart and setting. We will fire off the negate attack, because we do have the out to this right now. If we draw a Mirror Innovator, we do just win. Right, there's no Mirror Innovator. We can get an extra 1,000, though, so we will just do this. Activate Ultimate Bond. Reveal that we have this. And now he should just scoop it up, because he knows the game's over. Oh, he's not doing it. Right, we'll summon. Summon. There we go. And just like that. So yeah, anyone that's wondering, the deck that we're on is Machines, which is the best deck in the format right now. And this is a deck that we did pilot to a tournament win on Sunday. So we already know this deck works. But I'm very old-fashioned in that I don't think just because you win a tournament with a deck suddenly means like you've mastered the deck or you've found the correct build. It just means, oh, you got lucky on the day, right? So we're still trying to like develop the deck. We're still trying to find its weaknesses, find any extra plays that we can make, and finding replays for a video. Yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't hurt either. Ugh. Not the nicest hand in the world, but we will try and make do. Go ahead and set the 5 and pass. I never like not having the third monster. I would always rather have 3 monsters, 2 spell traps than 3 spell traps, 2 monsters, but I suppose it's better than having a tribute monster in hand. Essel, he does find the flag mech Gold Rush, but that is not the end of the world, right? It could be a lot worse. Discards the second Gold Rush. Takes back the Avant Wolf. Or Avant Wolf. 3 big guys is a little bit scary because I have no back row to save me at all. I really want him to set back row because we have back row hate. And now it is as bad as it could have gotten. Okay, so now we have to deal with piercing. Okay, he attacked the right one for us. Okay, that works out. All in all, that could have been a lot worse. That could have been so much worse. No boss monsters is pretty catastrophic, not gonna lie. How do we approach this? If we mill a boss, we're kind of golden, so I guess we'll start with that. We'll go Essel, and we'll mill. No boss in the mill. He's got piercing anyway, so I think we do just gamble with the crafter drone. So I think putting it in defense mode doesn't make any difference anyway. Aim Eagle doesn't do anything. Oh no, it does do something, because we still have a light monster. Okay, we'll do this. That is really, really bad. Like, just getting any tribute monster would make us in such a strong position, but we have found literally 0 of them. What do we do right now? I guess we just go defensive. Hope we don't die this turn. We could very easily die this turn. We've gone through 13 cards in the deck. We have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 tribute monsters in the deck. So statistically, we should find one every, what, 4.5 cards-ish? So the fact that we are 13 cards deep and haven't found one is very unlucky. Yeah, there's nothing we could do there. Unfortunate. We did nothing wrong. The deck just didn't behave. That's all that was. And again, we're not really trying to win the point battle. We're just trying to, like, get good replays, I guess. Oh, and I really need to blow my nose, so we're just gonna... There we go. Alright. Now we're against the same guy again. So hopefully we don't just get sacked twice. We did get 3 monsters this time. We still haven't seen any boss monsters, which is a little bit worrying. Hopefully he also won't double SL us, because he SL'd us last time. Now we just need him to not SL us this time. Go Cyclone. So he is on the high roll version of this deck. Hitting Barrage of Steel does not matter. Okay, that is a little bit annoying, but only again if he high rolls us. If he only summons out 1 boss, it doesn't matter. And he's got Essel as well. Oh my god, we are getting sacked again. This is catastrophic. This guy, I don't know what this guy's name is, how we pronounce this, but this is the luckiest Rush Duel player in the world. Like, what the heck? What are we supposed to do about this? We're just getting sacked. There's nothing else to, like, say about this. Man is just luckier than us. And we still have nothing! What is going on? Alright. We'll go Essel, activate the effect. Okay, Barrel Dragon. Very nice. I suppose here we will activate Reincarnation. We'll grab back the Barrel Dragon. We'll normal activate the effect. Send both of these. Bring out Le Barrel. Activate the effect. Now we'll just win the coin flip. Easy. We just win the coin flip. We win these. Oh, of course not. We'll go to battle and we have to clear the Mirror Innovator. We can't not. Let me just pass. Okay, let's see what our opponent has for us. This shouldn't be too easy for him to out, so we'll have to wait and see. He's already gotten very, very lucky. Let's see if he can continue to get lucky. Okay, Ultimate Bond is fine, because we can stop 1 high-level monster. The issue is if he summons out 2 more high-level monsters, then we're in a bit of a doozy. Like, if he goes this into gold, and then goes, what is it, Bicorn into Mirror Innovator, then we're boned. If he doesn't do exactly that, we're in such a fantastic position, and we get to maintain our back row, which is so good. But he needs exactly Bicorn Mirror Innovator to cleanly out this. Okay, it's looking good. So now, we're going to activate Combustion Crisis. And I would love to just get rid of this pesky monster that's got a load of attack points. Okay. Not bad. Now it's going to come down to what his back row is. So before we use this effect, we are probably just going to go for... I'd really like to get this off, but that's just not happening, is it? Alright, we'll summon the Tricorn now. We'll then summon out Ameagle. We'll activate the effect. We'll get rid of this and this. And we'll cheat out the Mirror Innovator. Then we're going to summon out Bicorn. Activate Bicorn. We're going to put back some of these low-level boys. Then we're going to tribute him off. Followed by activating Barrel Dragon. And we will just target this, I think. We do hit that. We'll go ahead and activate Mirror Innovator's effect. And we will just put back one of these. Now, the fact he hasn't scooped tells me he probably has something to stop these attacks. So I'm guessing either a negate attack or... yeah, just straight up had the negate attack. Okay, well there's nothing we can do about that. Now we just have to hope that he doesn't draw back row hate. Because this board is really strong. If he doesn't have the back row hate, we are in such a good position. If he has the back row hate, this could all fall apart. He's already seen 2 back row hate, right? Yeah, so the odds aren't super high. But let us see what he does. Summons out Surge Bicorn. Okay, okay. With you so far. Puts 3 cards back. So this is telling me that we're not... oh, we are ultimate bonding now. Okay, reveal the Barrel Dragon. Ugh, Barrel Dragon is annoying. But again, if it still doesn't have the back row hate, we should still be okay. We are going to use Barrel Dragon effect, target our Barrel Dragon, that makes sense. He does get the 50-50, which is fine. Obviously, we'd rather he didn't since we failed ours, but... oh no, we did succeed ours. I'm just getting greedy. I think we have to stop this. Realistically. It's kind of a use it or lose it kind of situation. Do we just push for lethal? I think we probably do. Alright, we'll summon. We will then activate the effect of Craft the Drone. We will just be discarding a Mechlord Mirror Innovator to draw. That is very funny, because that would have been really nice to have had we not already committed to this play. But now we're going to tribute these two. Summon this. I think we're then going to summon out the Craft the Drone, because I'd still like to see a back row for backup in case this doesn't work. Unfortunate. Well, now we're going to activate Innovator, and we're going to put back this lovely level 7. Then we're going to activate Innovator. I'm going to put back this lovely level 7. And we're just going to pierce over both and kill him. That's a replay worth saving, I think. Okay. So far, so good. We got our revenge on the guy that beat us last time. I don't know where everyone's at right now. Kai is in first place, which does make sense. He is the GRF. I think it was the latest GRF he won. So obviously, you know, he's a strong player. Alright, let's jump into another game. Hopefully we get a different matchup, because I don't want to just have a million machine mirrors. I would like to get other games in. Okay, let's see. It's Yuga again, so the likelihood of machines is quite high. Never know, might be spellcasters, might be Overlord. Let's see what happens. I mean... this could be worse. This could be a lot worse. We'll summon out the Crafter Drone. We're going to activate the effect. We're going to discard a Mirror Innovator because we just need something gone. Then, I guess we'll summon out Essel, so I'd like to just use the effect to get more cards into the grave. There's another Mirror Innovator in the graveyard. That's a little bit spooky. We're then going to go ahead and tribute both to set this. Then we're just going to set this and we're going to pass. It's not, unfortunately, the most exciting first play, but I think we need to use this Mirror Innovator to shuffle the other two back into our deck either way. Oh, dude. Oh, come on. Could we please just stop getting sacked by Essel? Like, please, can we just stop? Can we just ban Essel at this point? Like, please, can we just get rid of Essel? I hate this card so much. It's in our deck because it's crazy in this deck. Exactly this deck and any deck with Dragius in it. Essel is absolutely insane in. But can we please just ban this awful card? It's games like this where it could have been like a nice fair game, but now already this game is just a sack fest, and so it means nothing. So like that's why I just hate Essel, because it's just it ruins games. It lets you just steal games you have no business winning and just turn it into a complete sack fest. Like, it's so just disappointing. Like look at this. He just not even limit 3 Manicus, just ban it. Straight up ban Essel. It's so annoying. I hate it so much. It is just, it's nothing but frustration with this card. We're in a really shit situation. Let's not sugarcoat this. Right, we'll activate Ultimate Bond. Reveal this. I mean, we've got to just get rid of it. Summon. Activate the effect. Summon out Aim Eagle. Activate the effect. The thing is, we've kind of just already lost the game, haven't we? There's like nothing we can actually do from this position. Because like, if we do nothing, we die. And if we play this in defense, we die. If we play it in attack, we die. There is no individual card in our graveyard that can save us, so the game is already over. Our win con is that he literally doesn't have a normal summon, and his back row is nothing. That is our win con now. Like, what else can we do? And this is entirely just off Essel. Like, he just sacked Essel turn 2. There's nothing we can do about that. It feels so bad. Because again, this game means nothing. Like, us winning or losing this game is now irrelevant because he sacked Essel. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, you can't guarantee you're going to sack Essel and that Essel's going to have a Metclord Mirror Innovator in the graveyard ready to take advantage of it. Like, there's nothing to learn from this. Like, it is just a waste of time. There isn't even a prize, so nothing was gained from that game. There's nothing. There was no value in it whatsoever. It's just annoying. If there was a prize, right, at least you could say, okay, I sacked that guy, but I'm gonna get money for it, right? So there's at least value to it. This is entirely practice. So sacking with Essel gives you no good practice. Just, you know, just sack with Essel on the day is unfortunately not not good information to have. Ooh. I don't like this hand. I think with this, where we only have the 2 normal summons, we're just going to leave them both on the board. Now we just have to hope we don't brick on high levels. Because 2 of our unbricking tools are on the field. If he is playing aggro... Okay, so this is probably aggro then. Yeah, okay, he's playing aggro. So this might get a bit funky. So now, obviously, we know, with the power of hindsight, tribute setting this would have been a really fantastic play. Alright, we will go... Do we just summon Essel now? There's no real reason not to, right? Summon Essel. Activate the effect. Okay. Now... I don't really see a reason to sit on this. So we'll go ahead and tribute. Actually, we should have done this in a different order, because if he does have a very specific trap card, he could punish this. Which he doesn't, so we're fine. We'll go Barrage of Steel, and we'll pop this. Then we're going to go Barrage of Steel, and we're going to pop this. Then we're going to go Barrage of Steel, and we're going to pop this. Then we're going to set, go to battle, and then just swing over. Unfortunately, this is still very, very, very easy to break. But we got to play the hand we're dealt. There's nothing we can do otherwise. Like, the alternative play was just set 3 and pass. Like, I could have just sat on my Barrages of Steels, but, like... The thing with aggro as well is they're one of the decks that really, really wants to have bodies remaining on the field. Because their entire strategy is just swarm the board with Dragius as much as they can. So if you take away their tribute fodder, it can really hurt them. Whoa, what? Is this actually Royal Rebels? Just with weird... I've seen people play Gazelle in it before. I haven't seen people also jam Faithbird in this deck. Oh, this could be gross then, because he could now just OTK us with a heavy metal. I mean, other than the stop defense being a little bit of a clue, there was no way to know. Like, based on what he played, he's played aggro cards and a stop defense. I suppose if we had the read, we could have done something about this. Now it's going to come down to what the last 3 cards in his hand are, but we could very easily just die here. Oh, come on. Ah, so we're taking 5,000. No, we're not. What is he doing? Oh, he can't attack because... Oh, he can't attack with non-fiends. That is correct. Yes, yes, yes. He cannot attack with non-fiends the turn he uses Shadow Buyer. Okay, okay. So we are still very much in this. We'll go ahead and use Ultimate Bond. We'll reveal that we have this. Then back into the deck. I think we actually put Mirror Innovator back in. I don't need Mirror Innovator right now. So I think we will get rid of that. Then I will summon Essel. I guess we'll fire off Essel here. Okay. If I'd known I was going to mill that, we could have done something a little bit different, but that's fine. Go for a summon, activate the effect. We'll send both. We'll bring out Tough Striker. This can't beat over that, obviously, so we're just going to go for this kind of play. We'll go to battle, and then we will just beat over the heavy metal. Okay, the fact that we managed to maintain all of our life points puts us in an okay position. I still do not like not having a third monster. That still makes me a bit worried. Our back row should be, for the most part, kind of safe. Because he's used this skill, now even if he kills this, he still can't get a big direct attack in with a boosted up heavy metal. So it's going to come down to he needs a Doom Metal to clear, and then he can get like a direct attack with Doom Metal, and then like one more direct attack probably with a 15. Well, there's the Doom Metal. There's probably an okay chance he just... Whoa, okay. Curious, curious. Okay, we're in an okay position. We could go for like a... We just have lethal. I think we just have lethal. We got that as well. We have what? One. Have to be that plus that gets that. Okay, let's try this then. We'll go Ultimate Bomb. We're going to reveal that we have the Barrel Dragon. Okay, that's just going to be game anyway. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we had that. Either way. Because we put back the Monster Reincarnation, so we actually get to still keep hold of the negate attack. Put that back, get out and aim Eagle, aim plus Avant Wolf. Those two into Barrel Dragon, summon out the Bicorn effect, shuffle 3 back, tribute that for the Mirror Innovator effect, shuffle back a level 7, 31 piercing, Barrel Dragon hopefully gets a pop, which means we get a direct attack as well, but if not, we still get a 3,600 over the 15, which is 21. Hammer Crush deal. So we are actually against an aggro player this time. Let's see what they've got. Tribute 2 to set this. But don't know what this is. This is the spooky card. There's no reason to do that. So I guess I will start with a Crafter Drone. We're going to go ahead and activate Crafter Drone's effect. And we are just going to ditch this and see what we draw. That doesn't really change much. I still could go for another discard draw. Again, it doesn't necessarily do anything. But considering he's got that face down, we don't know what it is. I think we will go for it. As long as we don't draw a high level monster. Yeah, we're still fine. So now we'll go ahead and tribute both. Actually, do we even want to tribute both? Yeah, he's playing aggro. We should tribute both. Tribute 1, tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Activate his effect. And then we'll just win the coin flip. It's a 50-50. Or not. Now, unfortunately, if that back row is anything to stop our attack, we're going to be in a pretty middling position. But if it's not, yeah, okay, we're fine then. So this is probably TSA or a Legend spell, would be my predictions. Could be the second Hammer Crush. That'd be unlucky, but could be. I would expect him to flip this up, yeah. Discards another high level. Pops our Slime. Slime Pop is, like, it's annoying, but, like, losing negate attack would be so much worse. We are just going to summon out Sank and Kanan. And then we're going to summon out the Sork afterwards. So I'm guessing he's just going to have last card Dragius in hand. Obviously, he must have up... Oh, he's got TSA. Oh, I mean, I guess this does make sense. Down to 600. Attacks over that. Doesn't get punished, but I suppose what high defense monsters are we even going to be playing on this deck? Losing that damage is not great here, but we're still kind of okay at the moment. Okay, this puts us in a bit of a weird spot. Because I'm going to need to get back Barrel Dragon just to be able to, like, do anything meaningful here. So we're going to go Bold Tricorn, activate the effect, target this. Then we're going to go ahead and activate Monster Reincarnation. And we are going to have to discard this Barrage of Steel, unfortunately. We'll then just normal summon this, because I want to keep my other shit live as long as I can. Tribute, summon. We'll go ahead and activate the effect. Target this. Right, we finally won a coin flip, which is quite nice. And then we have to clear this. Then we'll just pass. Because he still does need to find another way to out this. Because another... Well, I guess a Trigger Drago would do it. But he's already got one Trigger Drago in Graveyard. I don't know how many he'd be on. Most people would be on 1 or 2 copies. Let's just see what he's got. If he has the Dragius, he's going to need another TSA. Or he's going to need, like, another Light Sorcery of Sanctity. Right, there's the Trigger Drago. And the TSA. So we can't activate this. So he needs back row hate, otherwise we're still kind of fine. So I think we have to stop this, realistically. All that back row, though, is a little bit scary. Now it's a lot less scary. Let's start with Barrel Dragon's effect. Looking at this, we actually could have done this a bit better, but that's fine. Hopefully we haven't missed lethal, but... Pop that. Pop that. Then I guess we will just summon. Activate the effect. And then, yeah, we'll just win off that. We'll save that replay as well. Unfortunately, everyone's scooping, which means they don't make, like, the best quality replays, but, like, it's fine. Alright, we're in 4th place, which is quite nice for now. Again, we're not trying to win, but, like, if we accidentally win, I'm not going to be upset about it, you know? The other thing is, just as a player, I am just notoriously really bad at point battles. Like, I am just so bad at point battles. So anytime I'm doing even remotely okay, I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing it. Nail Sayonji. So we've already played against one Cyburst today. I believe it was a different guy, but I'm also really bad at recognizing Japanese characters. Hello, Captain Joke. Welcome on in. You've caught us during a Japanese point battle, where we're trying to not embarrass ourselves. With mixed results so far. I think this is a set 5 pass kind of deal. Set 4 pass even. We're not getting our Gold Rush out, not in this current setup. Okay, so it does look like we are against the Cybers. Maximum Ragnarok. So that's telling me he's got 2 boss monsters in hand. Oh no, just gonna do the one. Okay. Just went for the second summon for the heck of it. So that card in hand is what, a back row? Oh, it's particle acceleration. Okay, losing the Barrage of Steel is kind of fine. Whatever, right? Ow. Ow. I think we arguably kept our worst card, but that's still fine. I mean, we can summon out both. I also am gonna want an Aim Eagle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I get rid of, let's say, Bicorn. If I get rid of Bicorn or Tricorn. Or we use the Bicorn to get a guy out easier and have an extra body. Rather than the extra 1,000. Because the extra 1,000 just is like 1,000 and 2,000 damage. Like, that doesn't actually accomplish a ton. Whereas what we could do instead is normal summon Essel, activate the effect, flip this up, activate this effect, go 1, 2, and then call forth the mighty ultimate flag mech Gold Rush. Then we'll go Bicorn, activate its effects. We'll put some cards back that we still want back in the deck. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I want to go for the third Gold Rush mecha since I already have 2 and 3 times 7 shift. So some people are playing 3. I personally am only playing 1. But I don't think anyone can really just outwardly say they have perfected the deck yet and that they have the 100% best build. So I think 2 should be safe enough, because even if the best way to play it does end up being 3, I still don't think it's going to make that much of a difference if any of 2. But it comes down to, like, do you want it, right? How much do you want it? We're on Viscum Nanotron, my man. How many Cybursts have we got in Graveyard right now? We've got 4, so we can't actually use this effect yet. Sets a back row. Does get to clear that. We do, though, get to maintain Tough Striker. He does have a back row. Though back row hate is a little bit sad, but it is what it is. We also now have plenty of stuff in the grave. So I think we will go for the Bicorn play. We'll just put these back. 1, 2, 3. We'll go ahead and tribute over it as 2 tributes. Summon out the big boy. Then I think we're going to activate his effect. Question is, what do we actually want to put back? I don't think I want this in my hand right now. Although it might be really important. Right, we will go for this one. We're just going to go for the 1, though. Because I want to keep some cards, like, freed up. We're going to summon this. We're going to go to the battle phase. And he's going to scoop it up. Okay. Well, we'll take that. Save another replay. Would you do a video for the best decks for the upcoming WCS? So that's what we're actually planning to do today. That is the plan. Is after we finish with this point battle, we're going to do like an updated tier list, go through the decks that we think are like really strong right now, and talk about what we think people should be playing in the WCS. That is the idea. So that will be out tomorrow. Morning, potato chip man. I mean, If I was a superhero, that might be my name. I don't actually eat potato chips that much. Also, it feels weird calling them potato chips because we do not call them potato chips over here. Feels very unintuitive, despite the fact they are very much made of potato. Oh, set 4 pass. We're going second. No Essel, I'm just saying. Just saying. Where's my Essel at? I mean, I could, like, put a bit of aggression on, but, like, what is the end goal of that aggression? Like, I just get attacked over. And then I just feel sad. I don't think, like, feeling sad is a good end goal. Potato chip. Well, you know, potato, potato. So over here, we actually just call them crisps. Which probably sounds really weird to you. But, you know, when it's been ingrained into your culture for so many years, you just kind of go with it. It's another machine deck. So unfortunately, this is useless to us in terms of a replay. We've already got 2 machine replays. I really don't need another one. Unless, like, this is, like, a really, really crazy game. I see no reason. Oh, he is on the Siesta Terrero. Not a bad option. Unfortunately, we lose our negate attack, which really sucks. Like, losing negate attack is really bad. We also lose a Bicorn, which is not the best. Where on earth are the good cards? Where are they hiding? I mean, I guess we go for a play. It's not a good play, but it's a play. So we're going to activate Aim Eagle. I'm going to go ahead and dump both of these. We'll bring out Gold Rush. The issue is that Gold Rush is going to die. There's nothing we can do about that. We're going to attack, and he's going to stop our attack, and then we're going to be sad. But that is our current, like, default state, is knowing that we're going to be sad. Okay, so he had something he could use, he chose not to. So he's either got Slime, or he just does not care, because he's got a card that outs us in hand, and he's got the negate attack, and I'm not wasting negate attack on that. Which is fine. It's okay. Don't do that. I mean, we potentially can deal with this, but we need him to summon out 2 guys is the issue. Okay, so he's going to use... Oh, he's just straight up using it, not going to go for the mill. Okay, okay, I respect it. 3,500 attack, whoa! He's going to use the effect. Ooh, interesting. Grabs that back to hand. We don't have 3 monsters in attack mode, so he doesn't get the free special. He's then going to set 2 and then go straight to battle. Interesting. Okay, well, we just take this. That's fine. So we know what's in his hand currently. Question becomes, how do we want to navigate this current state that we've found ourselves in? Using that doesn't do a lot for us right now. We kind of still need more stuff in the grave. I kind of want to go for the draw. Like, it's super greedy, but I still want it. So we are going to go for this. We'll go for the discard draw. Didn't really change anything at all. So we will now tribute 1, tribute 2. Summon out Le Barrel Dragon. Activate its effect. We will just target this, because he's probably going to have something that can stop us anyway. We're then going to set this. We're still in a really weird situation where we kind of need to find Innovator really quickly, and we're not finding it. So now we'll just attack into this. Oh, thank you, music. And we'll just pass. So he's going to have another out to this, which is fine. But we already know one of these is a Aim Eagle, and that he has the Tough Striker in hand. So, like, we already know exactly the out he's going to use. I'd feel so much better if we had a third back row, but we're just always on the back foot against this guy. Gets the Essel, uses the Aim Eagle. Now, are we going to go for the Tough Striker, or are we going to go for something a bit more exotic? We are going for the Innovator. Okay. Innovator effect. We're going for 3 cards back. So he's going for the 2k damage, which means he's setting up ready for an OTK play. Ooh, this might get him punished, though. Depends. It depends what he does here. Gets the Aim Eagle to hand. He's going to summon out the Aim. So we are going to go for the next bigger guy. It's like, yeah, my playlist is just completely buggered up. Alright, let's fix this, shall we? No. No, you're still being a pain in the butt, playlist. Alright, we will do this though. And we will just get rid of this Mirror Innovator. Get out of here. Right, let's pick a random song. No, that one's not going to do. Come on, playlist, what are we doing? Go for this one. Then we'll go for a reshuffle. If it will let me. Okay, and hopefully that'll fix that. Alright. So we took some damage there. Not the best. Where is our Mirror Innovator at? How have we still not found one? Okay, we're in a really, really, really bad situation here. There is not really a lot we can do about it, because again, he's still got all 3 of his back row. Milling more cards, I don't actually think helps us too much here. It's super awkward. Alright, we'll flip this up. Hello, Dwan. Welcome, welcome. Mill 2. Okay, so we have an Innovator in Grave. So we potentially have access to one. The issue is he still has all the ways in the world to stop us from attacking, which does create issues. So now we're going to summon out Aim Eagle. We're going to activate Aim Eagle. We're going to get rid of this and this. And we're going to summon out Tough Striker. Then we're going to set this. Because, like, I know he's going to have a pain in the ass back row, but I think I still want to do this. Right, we're going to activate Reincarnation. We're going to discard. We're going to take back Innovator. We're going to flip this up. We're going to activate the effect. We're going to put back all 3 of these. We're then going to tribute him off to summon this out. We'll then activate his effect, and then we want to put back probably just Barrel Dragon. Now, he's probably here just going to use Negate Attack, but we need to get him to use it at some point. Oh, he's going to go for Slime. Okay. That is okay. So he needed to use it to not die. He still has a delay, so he still has something else he could use. Does that mean he has Negate Attack and he wanted to maintain Negate Attack? All I'm seeing is machines and the occasional Cyburst. Yeah, I mean, we played against aggro. Is there anything else we played against? We played against one Royal Rebel as well. Are we really back to the song again? Alright, let's skip past that. And are we really? Has it really dropped me out of the playlist again? Oh my god. What is going on today, YouTube? Like, stop. Let's chuck this on. Then we will attempt to fix this for a 3rd time. Alright. Fingers crossed. Okay, Surge Bicorn effect. Summon out the Tough Striker. Summon. Uses Aim Eagle. So are we going to go for a Mirror Innovator? No, we're not going for a Mirror Innovator. Okay, so he's going to just clear the board. So he is kind of low on life, though. The problem is this back row. So we need a huge play, but this is doable. Oh, that isn't going to do it, though. Oh, we are so close. But we know his back row is almost certainly... This creates a really awkward position for us. Alright, we're just going to go for this, I think. We're going to summon, activate the effect. We'll go 1, we'll go 2. And then we're just going to summon off of this, the Barrel Dragon. We're going to activate Barrel Dragon's effect. We're just going to target this. We do win the flip, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, we're still not in, like, a fantastic position right now. But there is a chance we force ourselves into a better position by doing this. We'll tribute this, treat it as 2. Summon out the boy, activate his effect. Then we'll go 1, 2. I'd like to leave him engraved if I can, so we'll go 3. I've just seen the issue, which is if he has a very specific back row, he could survive now. Mind you, would it have made a difference? No, it wouldn't have, I don't think. Okay, it's negate attack anyway, which is what we predicted. If we had drawn a back row hate, we did just win there. Now, we did just shuffle 6 cards back into our deck, but we still had all 3 in there, and we had, what, like 9 cards left in deck? It sounds like decks you would expect. Yeah, basically. So all we need to do is just not die, right? So how do we die? If he goes for like a 4,100 Mirror Innovator, we could just die. If it doesn't get Innovator, yeah, that's just going to be lethal. As long as he has a 7, which we know he does. That is just over lethal. That is barely over lethal. That's a sad way for the game to end, because again, all we needed was one of our back row hate and we just win. But that wasn't a bad game overall, right? I think statistically, we had a higher likelihood of winning that game than we did losing. But it was still quite a good back and forth game, so I can't be like too upset with it. The main issue was that he got to use all of his back row to protect him, so he basically got like 2 extra turns of life where we didn't. Oh, it's Luke Tyler. Let's see what Luke's going to be on. I'm going to guess machines, knowing Luke. We're going first, which means there is a chance we get sacked by Essel. And seeing all of these traps early is also really not what you want to see. Okay, I think we do just have to set 4 pass. I think it's so greedy to, like, not do that. And we'll just pass. I'd love to summon this guy out, but if he has a way to out it, like, it's so easy to be outed. Oh, please don't sack me. Oh, and the Mirror Innovator. Bro, could I please stop getting sacked by Essel? Can we please ban this card? I hate her so much. Just get rid of her. Like, it's like, again, he's just got a free Innovator on turn 1 and a machine to give it piercing. Like, it's not fair. Oh my god, I hate it so much. I hate it. And he's got Barrage of Steel? Are you serious right now? Like, what am I supposed to do? Man just sacked me. There's nothing I can do about it. I hate Essel. I hate Essel. Bad Essel. Alright, let's see if we can do something to make some sort of comeback here. Alright, we can actually clear both of the big guys, but we're still in a really shitty situation. So we have to do this. It feels so good to summon Essel with a high, summon high level with Essel though. Yeah, but it's so toxic for the game. Like, it is actually toxic. We have to get rid of this. We then summon. We summon. We activate the effect of Aim Eagle. Send both. Summon out the boy. Or summon out Bicorn. Activate the effect. Put all 3 back. Tribute over. go to battle, swing in with this. Legit, I think, if we get rid of Essel, like, just get rid of Essel completely. I think limit 3ing it would be fine, because all of the good decks that use Essel, like, have limit 3s that are super mandatory, so that would just kill it. But banning it would be just as good. I think the meta is actually in a really, really nice spot. The only thing right now that feels super toxic is just Essel. Like, just get rid of Essel, and the game is, like, almost perfect. Okay, he's got the Aim Eagle. The issue as well is that he now knows he doesn't have to play around the negate attack, which is so bad for us. So he gets to do it every once now. If he summons a Barrel Dragon as well, we're going to be in such... Please lose the flip. Right, you've sacked everything else. Just lose the 50-50. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to Ultimate Bond out another big guy. Oh, God. So you're still going to clear everything anyway. It's not worth using the trap card, so we'll just toggle off here. Was Essel ever a problem in Physical Rush? So Essel in Physical Rush didn't come out until much, much, much later, where the meta was a lot more refined, so it didn't matter as much. So Essel was a card that you would use in your side deck, bring it in when you're going second, and sometimes get like a funny sack off on your opponent. But where the game is so much like in its infancy right now, it feels like ass when you get Essel'd. Like, so bad. Are we just setting and passing? I think maybe. Like, we could go for a gamble with Craft the Drone, but if he doesn't have piercing and he doesn't get a coin flip, then this is fine. Let's see what he does. Limit Essel and give me back 3rd Seahorse Carrier. Like, legit, they could just do that and that would be fine. We just... Essel is... It's like I'm saying, Essel is the only thing that feels really shit right now, right? There are games that feel invalidated just because it's like, okay, that game doesn't count because I got sacked by Essel, so there was nothing I could do, so it's irrelevant, right? That is not the average game, therefore it does not count. Like this game, I got sacked by Essel, so I'm like practice-wise, I'm learning nothing here other than, yeah, Essel's pretty busted, right? Like, I haven't discovered anything. Yeah, now any normal summon wins the game. Which he has, so yeah, we'll just get out of this. Like, there's nothing I could do there. Like, I don't feel like I lost that game because of anything that Luke did. He just Essel'd on turn 2 and went into a Mirror Innovator, and that lost the game for me. That was it. That's what nothing else was gained from that. There was no knowledge gained. There was no matchup knowledge. Just, you know, go second and draw Essel and you'll be alright, is what we learned. Which is just, it just feels like shit. I'm like, just get Essel out of the fucking format. It's so bad. Alright, let's see what's going on here. So this is another machine player. We played against him earlier. Okay, I think with this, we are going to tribute set this out. And then we're going to go ahead and set the Bicorn and just kind of hope. Because we really don't want to brick on this and just not be able to play the game. Not having a face-up does mean it's awkward for him to, like, make a big play. Tributes 2 does have the Gold Rush. Gold Rush is kind of fine. We don't really mind him having Gold Rush right now. Skill issue. I think that's the biggest issue is Essel just removes all skill. And that's what feels the absolute worst about it. I think we'll go for a Craft the Drone here. Let's see what we get. That doesn't really change anything, unfortunately. I don't think we need to, like, do anything fancy here. I think we just tribute a guy out. Probably use this. Hey, VN Penguin. Thank you for the follow. Tribute 2, summon out the boy. We'll activate his effect. I kind of want to leave him engraved. Hey, that's our goal reached as well. Nice. I'm kind of tempted to just put all of this back in, just because I want these cards back in the deck. we're just going to set this. Set another back row. Go to battle, and I guess we will just clear over this. I don't think there's a reason to start poking at the defense monsters. I think as well... Yeah, I think every single loss we've had today, I think every single one was us getting esseled. I don't think we've lost a single game today where we haven't been esseled. Now that we've said that, this is going to be our first loss where our opponent hasn't esseled us. There she is! Hey, she milled in a gate attack though. So he's going to go for a big boy. Who are we going for? It is just another gold rush. That's kind of fine. Tributes 2. Summons out the innovator. Okay, we're not going to do anything with this. We'll just let him... Like, we can't stop him from clearing the board, and we don't care about the damage. Like, until we're going to be dead, I think we just take the hits. We take our lumps, as it were. But now we do need to draw out something. Shouldn't be too hard. Apparently it's very hard to draw it out. Okay, well this sucks. We have so many bosses in deck. We still have 5 in the deck. And yet we're still bricking. Really not ideal. I mean, what else can we do? Other than just play a bunch of guys in defense. And hope. Alright. Let's hope we just draw something in the next 3. Like, statistically, we should have drawn a boss monster there. But statistics apparently don't mean much. We had, what, 22 cards. 5 in deck. Discard draw. Please do not snipe the only card I have that's live. Okay. Gonna summon another Mirror Innovator, just because he wants to really guarantee he's got the lethal. I mean, again, we do live this, but we'll have no protection after this. So we really need to... We need a boss monster. We need 2 boss monsters, because we need to clear this whole board. And we need a negate attack. Alright, we'll fire this at him. We've not used our negate attack yet. Alright, please can we get something? That's not great. But it does do something, at least. How do we want to approach this? I'm too low on life to, like, leave a 3rd monster on the field either way. Which means using that effect to shuffle cards back into the deck is probably not even worth doing. So I think we're going to flip this up. We'll go ahead and normal summon. We're then going to use Barrage of Steel. We're going to pop this back row. Okay, that's still okay. We're going to just straight up use this effect. This is also where things get a bit weird, because I can't, like, leave a Wimp on the field anymore. But even a 25 can still just get attacked over if he just has 3 high levels. Which he doesn't right now. So now we're going to activate Reincarnation. We're going to discard this. And we're going to grab back Innovator. We'll summon out Bicorn. Activate Bicorn effect. I guess we'll just put back, like... Put these back. Unfortunately, not having a trap makes me very, very worried about this. I still don't think we pierce. I still kind of want to leave this engrave. Well, I don't need to. I've got that one. It's not looking good. We're probably going to die next turn. But there is a slim chance that we don't die. So we're going to play to that out. Alright. We've done everything we can. We haven't seen the negate attack to try and stop him from killing us. We haven't left a weak monster on the field, so he can't just pierce over it and kill us. We've done absolutely everything we could to try and not die. Barrel Dragon revealed. If he has the Mirror Innovator, we're dead anyway, just from the extra 1,000 boost. He'd have to have the very last Mirror Innovator. He's only got one left in the deck. If he has the very last Mirror Innovator, the game's over anyway. There's nothing we can do. Okay, that means there's still a chance. If he loses the coin flip, there is still a chance. We need him to lose this coin flip. Now he just needs any normal and we die. Yeah, it came down to the 50-50. That's a shame. Again, we played that perfectly. There was no misplays whatsoever. That was just... It literally came down to the 50-50 on the Barrel Dragon. But he did have one Mirror Innovator left, and if he had just seen that, we would also have lost. So... is what it is. I'd really like to see some decks that aren't machines. Just for the replays. And we're against the same guy again. And again, that was our first loss where our opponent didn't S-loss. But again, statistically, we were quite likely to win that. We just got a little bit unlucky. We're going first again, which means we're going to get S-ed. Which makes me very sad. I think we just do this. And we'll just pass. Morning, Tomato Sauce. Low Light Machine has taken over Ladder, it seems. Well, we're currently playing in a point battle. Oh, fuck off. Please, can we ban Essel? Oh my god. I hate you. With all of my hate, Essel. Oh my god. This is a piss take. What am I supposed to do? And he won the flip as well. Come on. I hate this card so much. Like, actually. Just, can we please just get rid of this horrific card? This is so toxic. Like, I'm now in, like, such a horrid position, and it is not my fault in the slightest. There is nothing I can do about it. Alright, we're going to have to Ultimate Bond. We're going to summon. We're going to drop the barrage. Watch this also be the negate attack. So, because I got super, super, super high rolled. Exactly. Right, we'll go Aim Eagle. We desperately need this coin flip to work. Like, we are so unbelievably desperate for this coin flip to work. If it doesn't, we are just dead. Okay. Now there is at least some hope. But, again, if he just summons out a Mirror Innovator and gets an Aim Eagle, he can just boost up to 41, attack over this, and we're dead anyway. Watch the play unfold, right? He's going to get an Aim Eagle, he's going to summon some Light Monster, he's going to summon an Innovator, he's going to shuffle back another Innovator, he's going to attack our Defense Mode Monster, and we're going to die. And we have done nothing wrong, we have played the game perfectly fine, we are still going to die. There's nothing we can do about it. This is every loss we've had today, is this bullshit. This is just sad. This is just sad. We were, by the way, I want to say, we were in 4th place in this point battle run. And then we have just been, what is it? Sacked by Essel, sacked by Essel, not sacked by Essel, but still sacked, and then sacked by Essel. Like, it is so, we're down in 39th because of Essel exclusively. Like, what the heck? Oh, this is so annoying. And this is why I don't like point battles, because it's just a piss take sometimes. I got Capazon. Capazon's a really strong player. Also, could we please get a game that is not machines? Like, we played in these before, and we didn't just play against machines. Like, we played in one the day before yesterday. No, was it yesterday? Yeah, no, yeah, day before yesterday. We played in Sunday's point battle, and there was such good diversity across the different decks. But today, it's just nothing but machines. Like, we haven't seen any noodles? We played against, like, 4 noodles last time. Oh, Maximum Overlord! Oh my god, it's actually a different deck. Okay. Got the Light Stalk. Do have the turn 1 SRM. That's kind of fine. We don't really care about that. That back row scares me a little bit, though. I'm not going to lie. That's not ideal. I guess we will just go for this. We reveal this. We'll have what? 1, 2, 3. No matter what we do, we cannot. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's try and high roll it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We'll flip up Essel. Activate Essel. Don't mill the negate attack. We'll activate Aven Wolf. Aim Eagle. We'll send both of these. Then we're going to get out Old Tough Striker. We'll then summon out Essel. Oh yeah, we can't do it because we... Wait, why can't we? Not special summon a monster. And I just special summon a monster. Okay, that's fine. That is a line of text I really need to remember, because I keep reading it as when you summon a monster by Essel, but that's not how that works at all. So now we're just going to go like full aggro and then just hope we don't get punished. That's the plan. Hope and dreams. Go to la battle. Let me pass. Now, there is a chance that he has stacked 1 piece and he has another piece in hand and he could sack into the 3rd piece. That is possible. He'd have, what, 3 draws to find it? Is this going to be the 2nd SRM? Because other than an SRM, we don't really care about anything he can do here. Like, this board is kind of hard for him to break. Let us see what our opponent has for us. Okay, so he has got the 2nd SRM. That's a weird play. Oh, okay, we are on the Ansler, okay. I still don't really like the Ansler version of this deck. I think it's just kind of bad. The issue is now he has another back row, which is kind of scary. Ooh. That gives us potential. You don't really accomplish much, so you're probably going to just be used as fodder for that. Behold, Aim Eagle. We'll drop this. We'll go ahead and pop that. That's funny. Doesn't super do much though. Go for this. We will go ahead and activate Aim Eagle again. We'll just send both of these. Out you come, Barrel Dragon. We're going to activate Barrel Dragon effect. We're going to target this. Then we'll just win the flip. Yeah. Go to battle. We'll swing over this. Which, unfortunately, again, he's got 1 piece of the max on top of his deck. If he just hard draws the other 2, we do just die. But, like, I don't think we can play machines in a way where we can respect the maximum. Yeah, that's just it, unfortunately. Unfortunately, in the machine versus Overlord mirror, the matchup, it's literally you just pretend the maximum doesn't exist because you can't play around it. It's just hope you don't get sacked. 23 cards left in deck, by the way. It's just hard drawn the max. Feels bad. Again, nothing we can do about that. That's just how it goes. We will save that replay, though. It's good to have a few losses, just in general. And it is a different deck, so that in itself is a bit of a miracle. God, we were up at, what, like 5,000 points? And we are now all the way down at 0. Like, this is so rough. And it's, again, just entirely Essel. It's entirely Essel. I say that, we did just lose a game when there wasn't Essel involved whatsoever, but can't do anything about getting sacked by Max, can you? It's a weird one, right? Because we literally, I don't think, can play any other cards that stop a maximum, right? If we... Oh, Beyond Curiosity, okay. And a 40... Jesus, what is this deck number? We're going first once again, so we don't get to abuse our wrestle at all. Very sad. I think we just do this. And then we will just pass the turn and see what he does. So Innovator is pretty important in this matchup. Lots of the back rows, okay. Well, the question is he going to be on Combustion Crisis? Chances are, I mean, he might be. There's not really a lot we can do about it if he is. So, I think we just flip this up. Normal summon this. Tribute both. Summon this. Flip this up. Activate his effect. We'll put this back. Let's see if we can connect an attack. If he's not on Combustion Crisis, just getting rid of any back row is just fine here. If he is on Combustion Crisis, this is really bad. Takes the hit. We'll go for the 25. Takes the hit again. Down to 1,000 life. I'm wondering if he's got slime. And he just was like, well, I'm just going to sit. Or, actually, what might even be better would be, what's the card called? Negate Attack. Because if he can maintain Negate Attack and summon out Yggdrago, mind you, getting out Yggdrago should be so impossible in like a 40 card deck. Like, I get he's playing a bunch of stuff to try and fix it, but his deck is so big. Hello, Bakura. Welcome on in. Tributes 2. Summons out the Atrashoot Hydron. Okay. Gets the draw because he's already milled so much stuff. What's the next part of the plan? TSA. Okay. The question is going to be, is it worth using a negate attack here? I think there's an argument for it. Of course he hits that one. Burden for 600 is like funny, but it doesn't actually do anything. We know he's going to stop an attack. Like, that is a preordained thing. Summon out Essel. Activate the effects. Summon out Avant Wolf. Tribute 2. Summon out this bad boy. There's no real reason to do anything with the other one. It's only going to be 100 damage even if it does connect. Guess we'll just go like 1, 2 would be nice. Guess that would also be a nice draw. Alright, he's going to stop this attack. There's nothing we can do about that. But we'll see what he does. Probably going to be slime. Let me just pass. So he still is going to get a draw. He's only drawing 5 cards this turn though, including the draw off of Hydron. Hello, King John. Welcome. Did draw another Chaos Femtron. Sets a monster. Okay. Tributes 2. Summons out another Hydron. Okay. Where are we going with this? Talismanic Seal Array. That is potentially lethal. Oh, that's kind of a cringe way to go out. Just because he got the correct 50-50 on the gate attack. That's very sad, but it is what it is. If he doesn't have another normal summon, we do live the turn. Of course. Of course. Behold, Combustion Crisis! Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do here. Okay, actually, I have a question. Now, for a machine deck, do you rather use the new machines that was introduced in the most recent box rush, or do you go with the ultimate flag? You go... So the only reason machines are good is because of Steel Metclaw Mirror Innovator. This is the only reason machines are any way playable. If you take this card away, they go back to being like a dog shit deck. So like, you need Mirror Innovator. He is the most important card in the entire deck. The deck is literally Mirror Innovator and friends, like rather than like machines. Like, he is so important to the deck, it just does not work without him. Like, it just becomes so much weaker. Could they work together with the ultimate flags to make them at least? I mean, we'll run an ad break, but when the ad break finishes, I will answer le question. Find a brick in again. Really not ideal. I mean, we'll go for a normal summon and attack. Why not? Wow. Alright. With the ad break over. Could they work together with ultimate flags to make them at least? So the deck that we're seeing is basically this, which is using ultimate flag beasts and ultimate flag mechs. Right? We're seeing, we have ultimate flag mech Gold Rush, we have Tough Striker, we have Surge Bicorn, we have Aim Eagle, we have the new one, Bolt Tricorn. The deck is basically all the ultimate flag stuff anyway. Because ultimate flag wasn't even a deck before all the most recent support. Like, we got Gold Rush, who is the only one at the selection box. So we did, so it was a deck. It was just really strong when it came out, and then not very strong after that, right? I mean, that's fine. We just take that. Because like when the machine deck first came out, and it was the Ace Breaker deck basically, that was fine, right? Can I play the video game? I just want to play the game. All right, we can do this now at least because we did draw that. So we reveal this to our opponent. I think we actually put one of these back. There's no reason to sit on it. We will go ahead and activate Barrage of Steel. Pop this. We know that one of these two is live. I guess that's a good card to hit. We'll summon. Activate the effect of Aim Eagle. We'll put both of these two in the grave. Then we're going to just summon out Tough Striker. Because there's no real reason to summon Innovator here. Keeping Tough Striker in hand can be okay. Because it means that we can have easy access to an Aim Eagle. But like, Innovator is the better card to be able to summon. Yeah, playing machines without Innovator is almost like playing aggro without Dragus. Is it weird to say I thought the Worker Soldiers were part of the Ultimate Flag archetype? Because for the longest time, I thought they were part of the archetype. Turns out they are not. No, that's, like, I think that's fine. So they're part of like their own archetype, which we haven't gotten access to yet, which is all like, it's like a corporate machine is the whole thing. They get like a big like CEO boss. And there's like the different workers and different employees. What do you think of the Blue Eyes deck? I think the Blue Eyes deck is very strong. I think it's something that shouldn't be underestimated. But I also think the deck is very bricky. I don't really want to take all this damage, but we only get punished by exactly a second copy of Combustion Crisis. So we are going to go for it. That's not ideal. Not gonna lie. Right, let's go Essel. Activate Essel. go Essul. Activate Essul. We'll then tribute out the big boy. Set 2. Activate the effect. If he has the combustion crisis, there was just nothing we could have done anyway, so it doesn't matter. The chances of just running out to this are quite high anyway. I think we're going to go for damage. Because now, there is a chance we can just pierce over him and kill. It doesn't even exist, thankfully, because Blue Eyes is dominating speed, and I don't want it to dominate this side as well. I did not expect to start hearing Megalovania the moment your turn started. I mean, yeah, that happens. Don't worry about that. But yeah, Blue Eyes is a good deck. It is very strong. It's very bricky. I think some people have started playing builds where you literally just spam out cards that give you pluses just so that you can try to like unbrick your hand as much as you can. And in those situations, it's doing okay. Okay, so we've lived the turn. He still has 2 back row. Which means the likelihood of us winning is quite low. But I mean, I guess we just do what we can, right? So summon, summon, activate the effect, put this back, bring out Gold Rush. We'll then summon, activate the effect, put back you and you, why not? Then we will tribute over the Bicon. And then he just won't stop these attacks, and he'll take a little bit of damage. Oh, he had the negate attack anyway. Yeah, it's just lethal then. Nothing we can do about that. Nothing we can do. That literally came down to he popped our negate attack, and we never saw back row hate to pop his negate attack. But that's a lot of the game right now. Do you know those back row cards weren't able to activate when you had Steel Innovator attacks, so they aren't battle traps, so most likely spell cards. So the hourglass did light up when I attacked, he just toggled off. So we knew that they were live. There was just nothing we could do about it. Hello, Number Hunter XCs. Welcome, welcome in. Want to choose my starters for Pokerogue run I'm about to start? I mean, can do. Are you just using the starter Pokemon? Alright, let's see what happens. That is... I don't think I've opened like a really good hand since the start of the stream, you know? I feel like every turn we've had to like tribute set something or like unbrick our hand or do something. We've never had like a set 3 monsters, set 2 pass since like the start of today. You can choose Pokemon that's not a regular start 2 if you want. But I don't know what options you have available is the issue, and I feel like there's not an easy way for you to tell me. Okay, here's a question regarding speed. Does Dark Fluid Link actually do anything? I mean, it does stuff. And again, I am not the speed guy. Did we just get Essoled again? Did we just get Essoled again? And he hit the one in... He hit the 33% to hit the... Oh my... Am I the unluckiest player in the world? What is happening today? Ah! What am I supposed to do? I do not know what I'm supposed to do here. Yep. I guess we'll do this. Reveal this. We'll just put this back, I think. We'll summon. Activate Barrage of Steel to pop the back row. Okay, we got rid of a shield and sword at least. We'll send both of these again. I am so angry at Essel. Can we please just ban that card? I've been campaigning to ban Essel since the card came out. Like, oh, come on, can't even throw me a bone. I don't think it's worth going for damage. I think we just clear the monster that can potentially out us the easiest. I have a lot of options. Choose a Pokemon and I'll tell you if I don't have it. There's another Hammer Crush. Watch him hit. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, we potentially are okay. Now, this still does out my board, which is annoying, but we should live this turn as is. Pokemon-wise, bearing in mind I'm not, like, looking at anything right now, I would say... God, there are so many Pokemon. I would go Salandit, I would go Tinkaton, and I would go Gibble. They're the three I would go with. But again, I don't know if you've got any of those, so... Alright, how are we navigating this? The issue now is that if we leave anything in attack mode, we could just die. And I don't want to just die. So we're going to go ahead and use Bicorn, because I desperately need to maintain the amount of bodies I've got access to. Tribute over this. Summon out the big boy. Activate his effect. We're going to put all three of these back in to go up to 38. That's what, 28? And then like a little tiny bit extra is not going to do anything. I think we actually keep this in hand because there is a slim chance he's on Trigger Drago. I think we still killed this one because it has the highest chance to actually get damage in. Alright, let's try and catch up a little bit. Yes, it makes 3 counters Dark Fluid, Honeybot with 1 card, outplay completely exactly Gun Chips. There's just nothing I could do, just completely outplayed. But then, how does it do against Blue Eyes? It does good against Blue Eyes. Like, it's not bad against Blue Eyes. Oh, come on, don't... See, he wins that 50-50 and he gets to kill me. This doesn't seem fair. I lose the 50-50. Agents looks like new tier 1 deck. I guess we will save that replay. Just because anything new, I guess new, it's like our second game against aggro, but... Yeah, so we ended on 0 points because we got utterly sacked the back half of that. Like, Jesus Christ. Luke Tyler came second. Luke Tyler was one of the people that did sack us. So, there is that. This guy sacked us. I think that's kind of it, right? Nothing else really mattered too much. Man, that was so rough. It started out so well, and then we ended up bottom of the barrel. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yo, Agents very good. Yeah, Agents came first and second in Grand Tournament yesterday, didn't it? I don't have Tinkerton, but I have the other two. Okay, do you have Mawile? Honeybot makes it so that you can't target Dark Fluid with Successor Soul, and Defense in the graveyard protects Dark Fluid from getting destroyed by Ultimate Fusion. Perfect, it almost completely counts Blue Eyes. It's about time that deck became Rogue again, because I hate it and happy to see it get knocked down a notch. I mean, yeah, Blue Eyes has been on top on the tier list for a bit too long, in my opinion. I have Gibble and Salandit, but don't have Tinkerton. Yeah, so do you have Mawile? We will do the sleeve swap in a second as well. That was one of the worst point battles I've ever been a part of. I got Essel into Mirror or Barrel every other game. Noodles need Extra Spice to be limit 3. They have access to Majesty, Negate Attack, Slime, and Earthbound. That's the thing though, if Extra Spice was limit 3, Noodles would lose the advantage they have, which is they can play limit 3 cards. So I think if Extra Spice got limited 3, you're saying you just don't want Noodles to be a deck full stop. Which is a fair enough statement. But that would actually just kill the deck, like, completely. Like, the deck would not exist if Extra Spice was limit 3. Grave, other than that, maybe I think literally most of my losses today. I think I had 2 losses not to Essel. Every single other loss was just Essel. I got Esseled so much today. Like, it was actually disgusting. Blue Eyes is probably still good, but no longer best deck. I don't have Morwell. Do you have... Well, it's because I want you to have a Fairy Steel type, is what I'm going for. But it sounds like you don't have many of them. The other one would be Klefki, but Klefki's not very good. What about Drillbur? You got Drillbur? Blue Eyes is probably... Yeah, I do actually have a question. Am I the one guy who uses Beast Gear? Well, Beast Gear is not very good right now, unfortunately. Like, you can try and force it, but, like, it's still not... We're well past the stage as well where Beast Gear would have been good. Outside of, like, getting a really broken skill. It's not looking great for Beast Gear. By the way, bring back the Tachyon. Noodle have too much advantage, though. Yeah, I mean, they do. 100%. But even with all that, I still don't think they're the best deck. I think they're one of the best decks, but I would still argue that Noodle is not the strongest deck, so hitting them feels a bit weird before hitting machines. But I suppose you could also make the argument Noodle have been around a lot longer than machines, therefore you can get away with hitting them, right? I think that's also fun. Alright, let's get Tachyon back online, shall we? Was he down here? Might not have been down here. I think he's in the events. Let's go find Tachyon. Was it Metal Sleeves? Completely forgotten already. Am I blind? I might be blind. Game Matt. Okay, it was Matt. Where are you, Tachyon? You little Tachyon guy. Although I think it was... You preferred the C one, right? So we're going to go with that one for now. You want the original? Okay, we'll go for the original. He's back, baby! I have it, but he costs 4. Gibble and Salandit are 7. Ooh, that's a shame. What about... No, Matang's going to be... What? No, not Matang. What's his name? One before Matang. I can't remember what he's called. Ideally a steel type. That's what I'm going to go with. Just any steel. If you can't find a steel, a fairy. That's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, Beast have not been getting good support, and they're already being eclipsed by their dinosaur companions. Question, do we go for Chaos number 107 or the original? Original Noodles are fine, in my opinion. It's good to have some control decks. I think Noodles are in a weird spot where they're very annoying to play against for a lot of people. So, because of that, I think they might get a bit more hate than a lot of the other decks. Which I think is fair enough, right? Like, I personally see Noodles as like Blackburn. I don't know if anyone ever even remembers what Blackburn is, but it was a deck back in like early Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the entire goal was you burn your opponent, but you still play like a regular deck. So you play like Caius to burn them for 1,000. You're playing, I think, Des Koala was a card you'd play in it, just because it's a dark with a high defense. You just set it, flip it over, does a bit of damage, tribute offer a Monarch. You'd play things like 1 copy of Magic Cylinder, like 1 copy of Ceasefire. Some builds would play like 1 or 2 copies of Wave Motion Cannon. And the whole point was, you were playing a burn deck, but it was a burn deck that didn't stall. And so because of that, because you attacked, it felt fairer, or like not as obnoxious to play against. I think the Noodle build we have right now does play a little bit like a stall deck, but stalling in Rush is very different than stalling in Speed. And because the deck very rarely has a chance to win without attacking, I don't see Noodles as like a stall burn deck, even though it is a stall burn deck, but I don't see it as one because you still have to attack your opponent to kill them. So I see it more as like a black burn style deck. But that's, again, that's my perception. That doesn't mean everyone's going to share that. I can go Aron, Roltz, Ferroseed, Cutiefly, Impidimp, or Togepi. I would say Aron, personally. Because I personally, I don't know about everyone else, Aron is one of my, like, favourite Pokemon. I love the Aron line so much. But, with that, we are probably going to hop into a couple games of Ranked. And then we're going to do some discussion. And the reason I want to hop into some ranked first is because I still want a replay that is not against one of the decks we have already played against today. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into some ranked. And if we go against a deck we've already played today, so we don't want Cyburst, we don't want Magnum Overlord, we don't want Aggro, we don't want Machine. If we can find a game that isn't one of them, we'll play it out. And then try and grab a replay for that. Okay, Roman's looking positive. I'm liking that it's a Roman. Okay, it is a archive skill, so don't know what this is going to be. We're going second and we have Essel. All we had to do was get out of the point battle room and it's come to us. Now we will mill absolutely nothing. We're going to mill Slime Negate Attack. I'm calling it now. That's going to be our mills. Because Essel hates us because we hate her. Alright, let's see what we get. Barrage of Steel. Now. Oh, we could guarantee it. We could guarantee it. We have to guarantee it, right? We'll go craft the drone. Activate. That is just the worst luck, is drawing that off the top. So we could have just... I guess it doesn't make any difference, right? We still just do both. We bring this out. We'll drop the Barrage of Steel, and we're just going to 50-50 this. It's Noodles. Okay. Normal this. Activate the effect. We're only putting one back in, so we'll put you back in. Go to battle, we'll swing. Let's see what he's got. We'll swing into this. Then we'll get to 25. Okay, quite a good start, not going to lie. Got it. Is it weird that I use the transformation skill on my psychic deck? I think that psychics are in a weird spot where I don't think any of the skills are like really bad. They just are all very, very different. I think there are some situations where like sticking an extra Roman pick in your hand and getting 2 bosses can just win you the game. There are situations where being able to get that extra body every turn is also really good for value. And there are merits to just being able to always have access to like Candy to make different plays with the Jamp cards. It's awkward. I feel like all of those skills are like fine, but none of them are quite good enough. Right? I almost want to see them Konami like merge some of the skills together and just give them a little bit of an extra push. Noodle out of Roastery here. Into TSA. We've set these 2 already, though. So I guess you're just going to kill Innovator. Then I can attack over this for like 400 damage. If we just draw another Innovator, I think we do just win. We'll have to see what he does. Welcome on in, VN Penguin. Hope you're enjoying the Craigasm. Ah, that's an unfortunate draw. Okay. I mean, we can get some okay damage in, but it's not, like, game-changing. Send this. Send this. Bring this out. Gonna set this. Gonna set this. We'll go to battle. We will swing over this. Now, there is still a chance that we do just die. Like, there is a world in which he does top deck a series of cards that just kill us. We'll have to see what he does. Heck, for Pete's sake, both of the transformation skills apparently do separate transformations. One of them is to become the oldest. The other one has just become very angry. So technically, it's 2 separate transformations. Oh yeah, we were going to talk about the new Rush character that's coming because I don't remember seeing her unless she's one that plays Utopia baseball cards. No. How do you not remember Asana? She's like, as soon as she's introduced and from that point onwards, she's like a main character. Where are my Mirror Innovators at, yo? Alright, at least we have some of these important cards to protect our life points. Do we just... I think we do get this out just because the logic is that by having less cards in hand, we have a better chance at drawing into Innovator. Just going to keep slamming in for now. But yeah, she's the Worm Duelist. She uses the Excavators. Pretty much starts out as a main villain and then turns into an ally. She gets the Okuatsu treatment, if you know JoJo. Who's Okuatsu from JoJo? I know like Kakyoin and Polnareff were both like villains at first. Which one's Okuatsu? Oh, you're talking about X-Face, who has the hand. Yeah, I remember him. The hand is actually one of my favorite stands of all time. I love the hand. Like, it's so creative how like they use it. Into a scoop. All right, we are going to save that replay and just put that in the video just because I don't want to play more. I want to talk about stuff. And I don't want to just sit here farming replays forever. We'll give them a nice as well. There you go. There you go, little buddy. Alright. So with that done, I think it will be time to start talking about the new stuff. Because I like talking... I also need to grind this out at some point. We have not been playing many ranked games because we've just been playing tournaments and point battles. So... Look, we're at 58 wins. Usually this would be like 100 by now. We really do need to grind ranked at some point. Yeah, if he wasn't so stupid, the hand would literally be unstoppable, but it could have stopped Dio's plan, and Pucci even continued it. Yeah, the hand is just a cool one. I think it's just really, really cool. So, character. We have Asana. Yeah, her whole gimmick is that she rides around on a tiny little constructor, like excavator, drill, diggy thing. And her dual disc is attached to it. She has a bunch of allies, so we expect to see their cards coming out as well. Some of which... Actually, I don't think we have any of her allies cards yet, right? We have... So along with her, in her club, she has... I think it's Tanzen, who has the Earth Machines. There is the Pigeon, who has... Or Trapigeon, I think his name is. Who has the... God, what is it called? Night Vision. And, like, the Wing Beast support. We already have a lot of that Wing Beast support already, but, like, we don't have the actual boss monster itself, and a lot of the trap cards that go with it. That's also a counter pigeon to come from as well. Django, I think, is also part of that, but he's from, like, a different division or something, but he's, like, still part of, like, their school/area or whatever, and he plays the ant stuff. I don't know if we're going to get the ant stuff. In the same way that we haven't yet gotten the chairs, we haven't got the outer space stuff, we haven't got the cats. Ants also feel like they're in that kind of meme category where I'm not quite sure where we're going to get them, but we've got to get them eventually, right? Then there's also the other fire pyro stuff that's not noodles. I forget what they're called. It's like mag stuff, like magma stuff. Yeah, this stuff. Like Mag Max Mantle Vader, Mag Massage, like all of this stuff is also one of their like other people. And Mag Max Mantle Vader is actually a bit of a weird one. So we can send a pyro type monster from our hand to the graveyard. Destroy all face-up defense position monsters on the field who with the same level as the monster sent to the graveyard. Like, it is so weird. So it only works on face-up defense, which is already, like, such a weird stipulation. And then they have to be the exact same level as the card we discard. So ideally you want them all to be the same level. You want your opponent to have 3 face-up defense position monsters with the same level as 1 card in your hand, which is, like, so weird. R6 best girl. R6. Is that... Does she get called R6? Or is R6 the name... R6 is the name of her, vehicle, right? Of her dual disc. I'm sure that's the name of her dual disc. I mean, I know I'm skipping to Go Rush, but here's a little story. Oh boy, we're going to get story time, are we? So I wait for that. Yeah, I mean, we're looking to get some really cool cards. R6 is the vehicle, yeah. I thought the main ace monster of Gold Rush protagonist was Dragius because Cross made me think it wasn't Luke's cards. I mean, in Cross Duel, it was still Luke's ace monster. who's Dragius. So there is that. I guess we'll just go through and talk about some of these like worm cards, right? That's going to be the most interesting thing to do. So, Worm Excavator, the Heavy Cavalry Draco is a weird one. Now, I don't know the cosmic cards existed. Is that what the new attribute's called? No, the new one is called... Well, it's not an attribute, it's a type. It's called Galaxy. That's from Go Rush. There are just like outer space cards, which are Dark Pyro. And then there's the Magma cards, which are like Fire Pyro but aren't noodles. And they're all played by, I guess, aliens. I guess that gets confirmed that they're aliens later. But anyway. Worm Excavator, the Heavy Cavalry Draco. This card has a very generic middle maximum piece effect, which is cannot be destroyed by opponent's trap cards. Nothing particularly interesting. The interesting part is this. Let's get all the way in. You see this number right here? Normal attack value, 2,500. This is what makes this card good. Just having 2,500 attack on the middle piece of a maximum is insane. So this is a level 10 monster, 2,500 attack. So it gets over a lot of trap cards and spell cards that only work on like level 8 or lower. And it's just a 2,500 guy, right? Most middle maximum pieces are like 1,900, right? So they're kind of useless. You don't really want to summon them. This is actually one that's worth summoning. And if we get a field spell, which... Is it one of these ones? Phantasm Spiral? No, it's over here somewhere. This one. If we get Peaks of Blistopia, it becomes a 2,900 attack monster, which is very good. Actually, these excavators remind me of the Infinitrack archetype in speed. Yeah, Infinitrax is another archetype I really like, actually. Excavator is indeed the same machine as the rank 7 Infinitrack XEs. The same machine as the rank 7 Infinitrack XEs. I'm trying to think what that is now. I can think of all the main deck ones. I can think of the rank 5. I cannot think what the rank 7 is. But, so I don't know if we're going to get this card, you know. So, Konami's been really weird in Duel Links with giving us field spells. And this is a really good field spell. So I am unsure if Konami is going to let us have this. Normally, I'd be like, yeah, of course they'll give it to us. You need field spell for some of the effects to work. Build Dragon, if I remember correctly, needs a field spell. Where is he? Yeah, you have to have a face-up field spell. But I don't know if we're going to get this card, because, again, Konami has been really, really weird with field spells. Literally, the flower is almost exactly the same. Sorry, rank 9. Actually, those peaks with the flowers, they kind of look like the flower on Numeral Network. Actually, we're talking about Numeral Network. Unless they use the box with her to give us field spells, Beast Gear when. Yeah, it's weird. I feel like it's a slam dunk to just give us skills that spit field spells out, right? Give us a skill that just gives us, or lets you start the game with Beast Gear World in play, and give us one for the dinosaur field spell as well, right? Just do that. Peaks of Blistopia, though, whatever we get with Wyrms, I feel like the skill that we do get has to deal with the fact we can't beat set 3 pass. Like, we need something to deal with that. Otherwise, what? Are we just going to play the Sky Emperor skill that lets us set Heavenly Eyes, or whatever it's called, of the Sky Emperor and start flipping up monsters that way? And that is the only way that Wyrms can win games? Because that seems really bad. But yeah, this is still decent, right? 2,500 body on a level 10 monster. Really, really good. Doesn't get this extra effect unless we're in maximum mode, so it can't do that. But, you know, there is that. I mean, when do we get the next main box? So her cards could be the next mini. And remember, mini boxes are way better than mains for Pete's sake. They massacred the live stream box. It's a weird one because the issue I have with not doing mains is we're not really sticking all of the junk anywhere. Like, again, already we're missing stuff from like Nail's little group from the Garden of Curiosity. We don't have, again, the cat cards. We don't have the outer space cards. We don't have the chairs. All of that would feel really bad if it was just a box full of all of that stuff. So it's chaff, right? It's filler for boxes. That's what you would use it as just low rarity stuff. You just jam it in and give it to everyone. But we haven't got that because we keep getting minis and super minis. And if you just got like a mini box that was just full of that stuff, you'd be like, oh, You know, it's a weird one. The alternate game plan would be the same, just dig for Pierce instead of crank to 10. I think that's the issue, right? Is having to rely on those spell cards to get you to winning feels really bad. Like, you really want something in Archetype, ideally. You want a boss monster that just has piercing or has something to do. Or you want a skill that makes up for you not having easy access to it. Right, that's kind of how I look at it. Because otherwise, you're just going to get, like, eaten alive by some of the current decks. Konami is probably holding the mains for New World for Rush. Holding the mains. What, of bad characters? They're going to hold the main... Oh, main boxes. Right. I am with you now, Mungus. I would save it for fusions, personally. I think when I release the new mechanic in fusions, that is where I would dump another main box, personally. I mean, for Pete's sake, the original Power Toolbox is what I like to see in Box 2 main archetypes with scattered other cards. Asana would be a good time to give us a main box. I don't think so, right? And my logic as to why I don't think so is it doesn't match what they've done previously. With the last box we got, the last main box, or the last mini box, I suppose. Maybe not the last mini, because there's the super mini as well. But we did get the maximum box, which was then followed by a super mini that had all of the Roman band cards. So I would expect a mini box to have Asana and some other cards in it, and then a super mini afterwards to just have all of the rest of, like, her gang's cards, just to match what they've done previously. That's what would make sense to me. PvP rewards and Card Trader seems ideal places for some of the bad archetypes. Card Trader, though, is really weird to, like, drip feed you. Because that's the other thing. I think a lot of people would have been quite happy if Beast Gear was a boxed archetype. Give them an okay skill. People would have loved to play that for, like, a couple of months. And then they would have got power crept and people wouldn't play them anymore. But that's how card games work. But because we got them drip fed through really weird places and didn't get a skill and still don't have the field spell, it ended up being crap. But it's an archetype that a lot of people are really excited for because they like aesthetically what the deck looks like it does. And mechanically, what the deck does is still kind of fun. It's just not very powerful. So if you'd have released it towards the start, maybe it would have seen a little bit of play, again, with a skill to pick up the slack a little bit. But now it feels like it's too little too late and we're going to have to wait for the Go Rush support. It's a bit weird. In that box, which is called Power of Bravery, the two archetypes are Scrap and Morphtronic, and the rest cards are scattered. Yeah, it's weird when they do that. I prefer it when they're, like, all contained, but I do get that some archetypes do receive additional support, which is meant to come later, so you have to spread them out a little bit like Royal Rebels, right? It took Konami 4 years to drop Autumn, which fixed the deck, so I doubt we'll get it. Yeah, Autumn is a weird one. I love this card so much, but we cannot have this in Duel Links. We physically cannot be allowed to have this in Duel Links. This would break the game so much, but it would be so funny. It would be so funny. It's probably going to be a mini. How's Beast Gear still incomplete? We don't have the field spell. It's quite a big part of the deck. We're also missing some other Beast Gear cards, such as Glider Fox, but Glider Fox was, like, a much later introduced card anyway, so I don't think that matters too much. We're still missing some of the trap cards, but that's because a lot of their trap cards are... A lot of the issue that Beast Gear have, I think, is a similar problem to what Psychic has, which is people use their cards in other decks. So, for example, a lot of the Beast Gear cards work for Machines and Fiends as well. So they don't want to give us all of their cards because you, again, can just use them in Machine and Fiend decks, which is a bit weird. Hello! Oh, good job. I cannot read that name. So look, it's Elmaz! Welcome on in, Elmaz. How's it going? Yeah, why did they give Noodles 2 separate skills, but we didn't get a skill, at least based on the other Destroyer? I think his name was. The other Destroyer. You have to remind me what that is. Maybe make Autumn a skill? If this was a skill, though, this would still be busted, right? This is nuts, right? One worm-type monster from your grave on top of your deck. That's not even bad. That's a good effect. That's a good requirement. When this card is faced in the field zone, all worms gain 300 attack. So it's already basically just as good as Peaks of Blistopia, right? We don't get the 400 defense, but getting almost as much attack. And then everything gets piercing. It's all face-up Wyrms as well. It's not even like just high levels. All Wyrms now gain 300 attack and piercing. That is bonkers for this stage in the game. Thank you for helping me yesterday, Tomato. I mean, I didn't really do much, but I appreciate you are thanking me. The other destroyer is the dude wearing the giant mask who is the Sailor Ball. We talked about Stormbolt Destroyer. Is the point battle ended? Yes, the point battle finished about half an hour ago. We did not do too well. We started out really, really strong, and then we went on a massive losing streak because we just kept getting killed by Essel again and again and again. If you get it from turn 4 or something, I still think it's crazy. It's crazy. What won the point battle room? I have no idea, Quantum. I think Luke Tyler did 2nd or 3rd. But that point battle room was almost entirely machines. It was literally a room of machine players playing against each other again and again and again. So probably machines. Do you know... You know what? I'm actually going to check. Okay. You don't watch the replays in the room? So, the problem with that, Quantum, is the replays in the room only save like 10 replays. And when people get to a certain point, they stop playing. So you can't watch their replays because they aren't one of the last 10 people to play. So, like, it's very awkward. So unless you kind of know ahead of time who to keep an eye on, it's not easy to do so. But yeah, it was a bit weird. But yeah, I almost guarantee it was a machine play. Like, everyone in the top... Like, we played against a bunch of people in the top 10. It was just machine, 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 machine. I don't think we played against the guy that actually won. I can tell you that 2nd place was machines, because we did play against them. No, we play in the room. Why would people watching and not playing? I think you meant at the end, Manicus. Like, after everything is finished. But again, people just stop... They just stop playing when they get to a certain point value, because that's the meta of point battle rooms. Because it's better to gather data for KC Cup rather than winning a room that's worthless. Yeah, but then I think it depends, right? I think for me, I value getting a good test game in so I can actually see the interactions, I can see what my opponent does, I can play the game more. I'll get more out of that personally than just knowing, because I already know what the best decks are, right? Like, and a deck that just randomly wins a point battle, I'm not going to suddenly be like, oh, that's going to be the best deck for the upcoming thing. That's just not really how that works. But I guess, you know, to each their own. That's just how I personally see it. Like, I think everyone already knows Machine is the best deck, right? Like, that kind of goes without saying. Today, if anything else, it really hammered in the fact that Machine is a really, really powerful and really, really popular deck. Yeah, it's easy to keep track of that when you only spectate, but if you play, it's harder to do that. I mean, basically, yeah, because the whole point is, it's only an hour and a half to get some really good test games in. Against people that you otherwise wouldn't get to test against, right? So, Machine, Cyburst, Noodles seem to do good. Yeah, I mean, statistically, those are the best performing decks. Essel Limit 3. Yes, Limit 3. Limit 3 Essel. Do you know any other tourney today? There is another point battle that I think might have just started. But I don't think there's another tournament today. I can go and have a look. There was a tournament that was starting at... I don't know how to, like, process when this is starting. Let me chuck this into a translator. Uh, 10 p.m. JST. So 10 p.m. JST is... Yeah, it's just started. So there is a point battle room that's just started. Another Japanese one. I mean, I can go and take a peek if you want to see if it's going on. We have the spectator link, so we should be able to join in. So it is 878082. Oh, apparently it's not valid. Oh, we shouldn't be able to join it because it should have already started, but we'll see if it has already started. What's going on here? There we go. Yeah, so we can't enter, but apparently the spectator link also, or the spectator number still doesn't work, so. But yeah, it's going on at the moment. I wanted to join, I just got back from the gym. That's a shame. Okay, no, I am never entering competitive tournament again, because the first time I did, it was a normal and rare only. I pretty much continuously cycled duplex chimera to win. My first match, my opponent was playing a better version of my deck, so I ended up checking out before the second match could start and I left. I mean, again, that's completely fine. Like, you don't have to, like, stick to a tournament. Obviously, it's nicer if you can, like, drop from the event. But, like, don't feel like you have to be, like, chained to it. There's a big discussion currently going on in the JP Discord as well about the new card, just like we're doing right now. But yeah, trying not to get derailed. Excavator is good, right? Middle max piece, 2500 attack, good. Next up, L. This card gains attack equal to the number of cards in your hand times 300, which is interesting because it has 3500 attack, which is still not bad for maximum, but it's not 4000. But with this, as long as we keep cards in our hand, it can get really, really big, which is pretty cool. Then we have the right piece, which is we can place one card from our hand, or place one card, sorry, from our graveyard on the bottom of our deck, which is, it's a weird one, right? Because we're basically like burying it, so we're not going to have easy access to it. But if we do shuffle our deck, we can get access to it. But a lot of the time, we're going to want to put cards that you don't want in your graveyard that you also don't want to draw. And then we can destroy a spell trap on the field, on either side of the field, and draw one card. So that's pretty good because that lets you dig for the cards you do want to find. As BT was saying earlier, you can dig for Pierce, you can dig for Crank to 10, you can dig for Stop Defense, any cards like that. And popping back for is still pretty good. And if we destroy a field spell by this effect, which means sometimes you want to pop your own field spell to get another draw, we can draw an extra card. So there is that. You clicked enter the room, you shouldn't use separate code, you need to click spectate. Ah, okay. Oh, there's literally a spectate button. You can tell we've never spectated before. We always just join the room. Now I've got to find the code again. Where was it? It's in one of these. There it is. No, wait, is this the right one? No, it's not. It's not the right one. There it is. So it's 998710. It still doesn't work. That's because that's also the wrong one. Where is it? The code got posted somewhere, but I have since completely lost it. It's not that one. Is it, like, up here? There it is. Wait, no, that's not it either. It's posted somewhere on this Discord, but I don't read Japanese, so it's actually kind of difficult to find it. There it is. That's the right one, yeah? Here it is. Right, after some delays. 8082. This room can be entered. Haha! We've made it. Let's see who's in it. We recognize some of these names, but it does not look like it's as competitive as the last one we were in. But yeah, we can, well, I say that, we're not actually looking at it right now. There you go. Okay, I like how they made a dragon, a buzzsaw as a reference to Ouroboros. But yeah, Tomato, I would like to show you a replay. If it's another stool, no thanks. No, this time I play an actual deck. Go on then, we'll have a replay. We'll have a replay and then we will... After the replay though, we are going to talk about the new Rush cards and you're all going to like it, okay? Alright, let's go watch the replay quick from Zach. Zachy boys, currently dueling. Alright, let's go in. Let's watch the Zeus replay. Let's see what happens. Playing Jaden. Playing against someone's on a rank up match. You're just going to completely shut them down. Playing Dark Fluid as well, so he's on the new deck. Dark Fluid Link. Reveal Firewall Guardian. I hate skills that do that, by the way. They just vomit a load of stuff somewhere. Like, please, Speed, stop doing this. Firewall Defensor. Off of Mining. Send Proxy Horse. Use the effect. Send Firewall Defensor to the graveyard. Here we go. Linking into the link to Cyber Switch. Who would have thought the Cyber Switch might have been hitting the field? That's crazy. Cyber Switch effect. Banish. Grab out Paladin Storm Dragon. Signet Ritual to hand also, so we're good to go for the Ritual play if we want it. Return another body, activate the Signet Ritual, and here it comes. We have to watch the Ritual animation. I don't get to see Rituals too often. Out comes Paladin of Storm Dragon. And we're going to immediately send it to the graveyard to link into the Link 1. What are we making? Lingaribo? I assume it's got to be Lingaribo. Oh, we're on Balinks. Okay. We're going to link those off to the link 3. This has got to be... What's he called? Yeah, decode. In my head, I'm like, access code. I'm like, no, it's not access code. It's definitely not access code. Could you imagine access code just comes to dual links? Alright, let's see how Zaki breaks through this board. He does not even have a negate because he's put his cards in the wrong place. Interesting. We sent Raikou and Fabled Cerberell. Are we just playing like a Fiend deck? Oh, this is just a Fabled deck. I've just got Raikou in it because of reasons. Okay, not a crazy turn 1. Our opponent's going to link off their 2 monsters. We're going into another Witch. Looks like it might be another Witch. It's a Witch. Guardian into Phantom. We do get a negate. Thanks to us having the same number of cards in hand. We'll go DDR. Bring that back. Cyberse Witch. Grab Paladin of Storm Dragon. Grab out the Signet Ritual. Oh, who would have thought? Who would have seen this play coming? Which is going to give us... Yeah, we're going to go... No. We're just going to keep saying no. Then we're going to say no again. Is this a case of our opponent just not reading? This is just... I don't know if that was... I'm not sure you deserved that, to be perfectly honest. Your opponent neglected to read. I like the idea as well that it negated one thing, and he was like, okay, the negate's used. I'll keep going. Then the negate hits him a second time. At which point he still hasn't read the card, and he goes, oh, I guess it just negates twice? That's a bit weird, but anyway, we'll just keep playing the game. Then he gets negated a third time. And at this point, I'm just like, you've done this to yourself, right? You can't... It's not even a question of not reading. It's like, you didn't... You fell for the trap like 3 times and still didn't learn your lesson. Like, it's so... I have no words. I have no words. I don't want to shit on this other guy as well, because he's probably just new. But, like, it's very funny as well that he's playing that kind of a deck. And, you know, it's not necessarily like a super in-depth deck, but it has stuff it does, right? It has, like, combos. So, anyway, let's just back to reading. So, we're expecting to get R and L and mid, right? We're expecting to get these 3 cards. I would expect these to be in a box, right? That would make the most sense to me, which means we'll probably get a box with Asana. And this maximum is fine. Having a middle piece that's 2500 means it's actually kind of good just as a boss monster. You can just slap people around with it. Being able to pop back row is always going to be really, really powerful. It just, once again, doesn't beat set 3 pass. So either we want a skill to help us out with that, or we're just going to be relying on spell cards, which we just really don't want to be. Then we have Asana's other boss monster, Constructor Worm Bill Dragon, which is a really cool boss monster. 2500 attack is exactly where we want to be, and has a nice defense value as well at 2000. If we have a face-up field spell on the field, we can special summon 1 worm-type normal monster from our hand, from our graveyard, sorry, face up to our field. So this is really, 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 really cool, because as we go on, we actually get boss monsters we can summon off of this, which is extremely powerful. One of which is Constructor Demolisher Worm Drake Crush. Being able to cheat out a 2400 attack guy is really, really strong. And much, much, much later, we did receive Phantasm Spiral Dragon, which there is a chance we get this as a bundle, but it's not very high chance, right? I think being able to cheat back 29/29 attack monster is pretty good, right? Now, you could make the argument, we already have Blue Eyes. That's better than Phantasm Spiral Dragon. Blue Eyes is... You can't cheat Blue Eyes out for free, right? You can get it back with Soul Drake, but that is a 2-card investment. In order to get it out with Constructor or Build Dragon, that's a 0-card investment, right? You just have to get this guy out, have a field spell, oh, he's here for free, right? So it is very different, which is why I don't think we're necessarily going to get Phantasm Spiral Dragon. But Build Dragon is still very, very good. Being able to just get an extra body. And the thing to remember is, whatever body you get back, chances are you're going to have Peaks of Blistopia out, and it's going to get an extra 400 attack. So even though, yeah, we're bringing back a 2400 attacker, you're actually bringing back a 2800 attacker. And Constructor 1 Build Dragon says 25, it's actually a 2900 attacker, right? So as long as we get the field spell, it'll be really, really strong. We'll most likely get Phantasm as a bundle at the same time, the normal Worm at the same time, or the normal Worm, not both. Yeah, I would imagine what would make sense is maybe not even release this straight away. This could come in a later box, to be honest. I think because initially when it released, the best target for it was... where is it? It's down here somewhere. This guy. Constructor Battler Big Roller, which was just a level 6 1900, which I'm sure, you know, it doesn't quite have the defense value you'd like to see, but he is, like, okay, right? And again, you got to remember this is going to get plus 400, so it's actually a 2300 attack monster. So I would assume we'll follow suit of the physical game, and we will get Constructor Battler Big Roller first, and then going forward, we will be getting the Worm Drake Crush, and then eventually the Phantasm Spiral Dragon. That's the way I see it unfolding. But yeah, Worm Build Dragon, still good. It's going to feel a little bit, I think, like the dinosaur, like Super King Rex, for a bit. But overall, this is a lot better than Super King Rex. The Worm Boss is a better carrier. Thunder's getting made more and more redundant. I mean, yeah, but kind of. You do need to have a field spell, so if you don't have a skill to sort that out, you do need to hard draw into a field spell, which also means fitting them into your deck, which can be kind of difficult. Then we'll talk about Constructor Driver Soldier Traylon. So this is a weird one. This is a very modern support card. This, to me, reminds me of Chaos Femtron, which is if the deck is struggling, Konami might throw this at us as a bone to be like, oh, here's like one kind of a lot more modern card to try and like fix the deck, right? I don't think we'll need this, but this is something they could do since they did give us Chaos Femtron, there is a chance. This is a very, very broken card. This is, if we have no other monsters on our field, we can add an Earth Attribute Worm-type maximum monster from your graveyard to your hand. Then if you have a level 7 or higher Worm-type monster in your graveyard, you can add a maximum monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this set literally lets you grab 2 maximum pieces from your graveyard and put them in your hand. 2 maximums straight to hand means you only need to have 1 in hand. Drop this down, grab the other 2, you're good to go. I think this is maybe a little bit too good, but I would have said the same thing about Chaos Femtron, and that card came out. Now, I do think Traylon is a lot better than Chaos Femtron personally, but I don't think it's going to come out. But there is a slim chance. So we're talking about it here. I don't think this will be on release at the very least. But again, if the deck is really struggling, this could be one of the answers to try and fix that. Then we got Picklon the Constructor Fairy. This is just a, you know, a crafter drone. This is a Mystic Dealer. Great synergy with Essel. No, Quantum, we do not say that name here. Essel is not welcome here. But sending a worm-type monster from your hand to the graveyard to draw a card is fine. As well as this will eventually be parts of... Might be the one fusion. I think this is only part of one fusion. But this is a fusion material later as well. Let me get Constructor Fighter Mixer. 1200 attack is fine. It's not great. It's fine. If a field spell is face up on the field during the turn you normal summon this card, we can send the top card of our deck to the graveyard. Then if we send a worm-type normal monster to the graveyard, we can draw 1 card. So obviously we have to have a field spell. We have to mill a normal monster. And a lot of the time you're not going to want to be on very many normals. So the chance of this going off is quite low. But still, filling the graveyard is pretty good. And sometimes getting a draw is also not bad. Especially if you just need a certain number of worms in the deck to like make the deck work. So it's not a bad card, but it's nothing like crazy special. If you do get the plus though, it is really nice. Like just getting a free plus is crazy good. Hello, Dingust. Welcome on in. Then we've already spoken a little bit about Peaks of Blastopia. It's so good, right? 400 attack. Again, losing 400 defense kind of sucks. But 400 attack, man. 400 attack is so good. Like, I really don't know if Konami's going to give us this card, just because, again, they've been really frugal. Or very, they've been very hesitant to give us field spells. So, maybe they won't give us this, but, like, we need a field spell. One that they could decide to give us is the Silver Mountain of Blastopia. So this is a bit of a weird one. To activate this card, if your opponent has a face at level 7 or higher monster. So it's already got a really weird requirement. But then while this card is face up on the field zone, if a player would tribute summon level 7 or higher worm monster in attack position, they only require 1 tribute. So that is cool. This lets you play a higher tribute count, like a high level monster count. But it doesn't give you 400 attack, does it? It's a bit weird. It leads to like brickier games because you'll be playing more high levels, which means you have a higher chance to brick. It's a bit of a weird one. We are in an ad break, so I guess we'll just let the ad break tick through before we continue our discussion. Because we don't want anyone to miss out. We'll just vibe to some Crash Bandicoot for now, I guess. Alright, that should be ad break over. So yeah, this is Silver Mountain of Blastopia. This is the one that you were talking about, Manicist. This is the one that lets you tribute things out easier. It's like, it's okay. I think I personally always prefer Peaks of Blastopia, personally. Good time to release most of the field spells, like Beast Skill World, since Asana's main thing is field spells. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But that does make sense. I want Peaks of Blastopia, personally. Well, what I really want is Autumn Leaves of Blastopia. This is what I want. This would break the game. Giving all of your worms 300 attack and piercing is so good. I don't think we're going to get this card, but it would be so ridiculous if they did give us this. I just want them to do it anyway. I think if they release this card, worms become tier 0, right? Like what possibly stands up to worms if we release this card? Like maybe like Doom Metal can get like a bit of a hard punish on them, but like if you don't see Doom Metal, you also just lose to it. It's weird. It's a weird one. But then we have Primal Howling. This is our back row hate. If we have a face-up worm monster in our field, place 1 spell trap card from your opponent's field on the bottom of the owner's deck. So we get to tuck a spell card, which is very, very powerful. Because although we don't have a lot of ways to put cards from our graveyard back into our deck other than monsters right now, we will eventually get cards that let us reuse them. Things like Magical Stone Activation and things like Galactica Jamais Vu, which do let you put spell cards back. So being able to like tuck cards is really, really powerful. So there's always that. Then we've got our trap cards. And traps are another weird one where Konami doesn't like giving us trap cards. We're in a bit of a weird spot where a lot of the trap cards we do have, we have 1 copy of. And Konami's been really hesitant to give us any kind of decent trap. But Constructor Ambush is like, okay, when an opponent's monster declares an attack targeting a face-up worm-type monster on the field, you can send 1 level 6 or lower worm monster from your hand to the graveyard. The attacking monster loses the attack equal to the attack of the monster sent to the graveyard to meet this requirement to the end of the turn. So this is a substantial reduction. So obviously the level 6 we could send to be our 1900 attack big roller, but we could just send a 1500 vanilla and just reduce something by 1500. So we don't have to play like bad cards to make this work. And just reducing something by 1500 attack is a significant amount. That might actually be worth doing. Now the downside is that we have to keep that card in our hand because we have to, send it from our hand to the graveyard. But it's okay, right? Then we've got Constructive Blockade. This one's So when your opponent normal summons a level 7 or higher monster, you can send a face-up worm monster from your field to the graveyard to choose 1 face-up monster from your opponent's field. This turn, your opponent cannot attack with monsters with the same type as that monster. So this can be really, really, really strong. It also can be a bit whatever. Overall, I think this is pretty good, and this would be really good the earlier we release it. I think the later we get into the game, the worse this is going to be. And then we get what I think is one of the better trap cards, personally, Constructor Resurrection. So when your opponent's level 7 or higher worm monster, when your level 7 or higher worm monster is destroyed by an opponent's attack, we can special summon a level 7 or higher worm monster from your graveyard face up to your field. So that means we have, like, Bill Dragon out. Bill Dragon gets attacked over by, I don't know, Like, let's use the current meta as an example. Your opponent summons out Aim Eagle, cheats out their, I don't know, Tough Striker at 35, attacks over, you take 1,000 damage, we flip over our trap card, he comes straight back, and now your opponent has another 2,500 monster to deal with, which is really good. Again, I'm not sure if we'll get this, because Konami don't really like trap cards right now, it feels like, so maybe we won't get this, but this is one of the earlier Worm cards. This isn't like a super modern card, so could see that. And then we just got the Phantasm and the Big Roller. So there are some other cards that Worms do get, but a lot of them are like... they're like vanillas, or they're not particularly high impact, so I don't think we really need to talk about them. So that's kind of it for like the Worm stuff, right? There is some really good stuff in here, obviously. The Maximum. Again, if we get any way to be able to deal with defense mode monsters, it's going to be really strong. Build Dragon, again, is also just a really good boss monster. If we do get the Drake Crush, that's also going to be really good, just a little 2-card combo. We get 2 massive monsters on the field. Traylon, I don't think we're going to get this card, but it'd be really good if we did. Piccolon, I would be surprised if we didn't get this card. Mixer is okay. Again, we have all of the field spells. We're almost certainly going to get Primal Howling, which is a decent back row. If we get some of these traps, that'll also be really good. That's kind of it for those. Then it's going to come down to, like, what other cards are we going to get? Because there are still a lot of other cards, such as the Earth Machine cards. So if we go ahead and take a look at Earth and Machine, we can take a look at some of these cards. Because some of them we, like, should already have had, but we haven't had them yet. And I think a reason for that is they're saving them to bring them all out at once. So one of those examples is Printing Presser. This is a card that should have been out ages and ages ago, but we just haven't gotten yet. So it's not even particularly good. Level 8, 2300 attack. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Your opponent executes the top 5 cards of their deck. This card gains attack equal to the number of executed monsters times 100 to the end of the turn. Your opponent then places them on the bottom of their deck in any order. So messing with the top of your opponent's deck doesn't really accomplish much, and it does gain a maximum of 500 attacks, up to 28, which is worse than a Trigger Drago, right? It's not that great. Earth Machine could come with the surge of player popularity because of machines. I can see them coming soon. It makes sense as well because a lot of the Earth Machine boss monsters, such as these two, Shield Boring Kong and Drilling Mandrill, these are Tanzen's boss monsters, which is one of Asana's, like, gang. Like, he works for Asana or is one of her schoolmates or something. So it would make sense to bring his cards out along with her, because I assume we'll get him. Yeah, I doubt he'll be a playable character, right? But he'll probably come as a roaming duelist or something. But yeah, Shield Boring Kong. During the main phase, you normal or special summon this card, destroy a face-down defense position monster on your opponent's field, and if you do, gains 1,000 attack. So getting a monster out of the way is very powerful. Means that you can obviously get a direct attack in, depending on what your opponent's back row is. Gaining 1,000 attack means he goes up to 33, which is a significant direct attack to get in. They could give us the newer Pierce machines. What are we talking about? Like Track Tiger? I mean, maybe. They're quite bad, but they could definitely give us these cards if they wanted to. Obviously, we don't have powerful Pierce, so there's no reason. So, as far as I'm aware, Graham was talking to us about this before, is that Konami has never released a card in Duel Links that mentions a card that is not in the game. So, the only reason we would get Drilling Track Tiger is if we already get Pierce with it, or Powerful Pierce. But Drilling Track Tiger, we can't see it too well on here, but it has 2,500 attack. I guess we'll just do this to look at it quick. If the page ever loads. Okay, well, while that's doing that, yeah, Drilling Track Tiger, 2,500 attack, adds Pierce. Nothing, like, crazy special, but, like, it's fine. The other boss monster that's actually one of the characters is Drilling Mandrill, which is during the main phase that we normal special on this card. We can change face-down defense position monsters on your opponent's field to face-up attack position up to the number of face-up machine-type monsters on your field. The original attack of the monsters changed to face-up attack position become 0. So this guy's stats suck, but it forces defense position monsters on your opponent's field to attack position and then makes their attack 0. And if you get 3 monsters out, you can basically change your opponent's entire field to face-up attack mode, make all their attack 0, and basically get 3 direct attacks in, which is why this thing's attack is so low. But that's still really good. Now, the problem is if you're losing, this card reads lose harder, and if you're winning, this card says, well, you're already winning, but now you can win more. So it is the epitome of a win more card, so I'm not sure how much play this would actually see. Shield Boring Kong is better, I think, most of the time, which is why this card did see a lot more play than Drilling Mandrill overall. A lot of the rest of these cards we're not expecting to see because they are Go Rush era cards. But some of them will probably see some play. We'll probably get like Express Train, because, you know, why not? There are a few other cards like Scoop Scooter that should probably get, but they're not like all that important. The other cards that we're expecting to see are going to be things like Night Vision, which is another boss monster from one of like Asana's gang or her club. I think they're called the Heavy Cavalry Club. But Night Vision, the Phantom Pigeon, 2200 attack is very low. If you have a trap card in your graveyard, we can send the top card of a deck to the graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the number of trap cards in your graveyard times 200 until the end of the turn. Then if you have 5 or more trap cards, you can inflict 1000 damage. So imagine we get, you know, 5 traps in our graveyard. This guy gains 1000 attack up to 32, so now he's like a mini Sevens Road. And you get to burn your opponent for 1000. So there is maybe an actual burn strategy potential here with Night Vision. So don't underestimate this too much, especially since with 2000 less life points, as we've seen with Noodle Ninjas, burn becomes a lot more powerful. Pigeons, Earth Machine, and Wyrms, calling it now. See, that I think would make the most sense. If not, I would expect a lot of the Wyrm stuff to come out immediately, and then we'll get a mini box afterwards, which has the rest of it, right? Noodle plus Night Vision equals Cry. The problem is that I think Night Vision without a skill is going to be very mid, and Noodles without the skill is also very mid. So I don't think it would be that big of a deal if they did put them together. And then we get stuff like Clown and Cuckoo Clock, because there's a lot of trap cards that come with Night Vision, because obviously you need traps to make it work. When your opponent normal summons a monster and you have a face-up Wing Beast monster in your field, special summon a Night Vision from your graveyard face-up to your field, and then gain 1500 life points. So it's nice. Unfortunately, like, it's not particularly great unless you have other trap cards to protect the Night Vision once it's out, because obviously cheating out a 2200 attack monster is okay, but like, it's a little bit awkward. Plus, you also have to have room to summon it. Still need Chairs and Scare Chair Code. I don't think we're going to get Scare Chair Code, right? Because that's a very modern card. If it's what I think it is. Do we even have... it might just not be in here. Because this isn't updated, like, up to the modern game. But yeah, there is a chance that we get that sort of stuff. If we don't, though, if we do not get the Earth Machine stuff immediately, and we don't get the Pigeon stuff, it'll be interesting to see what we do get. Because there's still, like, we've gotten some of the dinosaur stuff, but we're still missing, like, the dinosaur traps. Which, like, is so sad. Like, let's see if we can find some. Because I can't remember what their names are. Well, for a start, we want Jurassic World. I'm trying to remember what the dinosaur traps are called. What are they called? Oh, here they are. Perfect. Ascending Evolution is a really good one. So when your opponent normal summons a level 7 or higher monster this turn, one face-up level 7 or higher dinosaur type monster on your field gains 1500 attack and cannot be destroyed by card effects. So think about that. We stick that on like a Super King Rex. It becomes a 4000 attack monster that can't be killed by card effects. Now, you could still just get attacked over by something like TSA, right? But still, it's a good way to like stave off attacks. And then the actual good one is Dynamic Pressure. This is the really good one. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, shuffle 3 dinosaur monsters from your graveyard into the deck. All face-up monsters on your opponent's field lose 1000 attack. So 1000 attack is not a small amount of attack. A lot of the time, that is enough to make them actually die as they attack into us. And it affects the other monsters as well, which means there's a good chance your opponent now cannot clear your board. So really, really good. Really, really good. Mini Revelation. Kind of Mini Revelation. Obviously, it's not quite that powerful, but it's still very, very good. Same pack as Chaos Tron. Yeah, it's the weird little gamer chair. They have always given us cards of support for decks completely unrelated to what we've already got in the game. We could get some random archetypes of cards. They do that, but at the same time, like, we have been getting incremental spellcaster support. We have been getting incremental dragon support, psychic support, warrior support, beam support. So, like, there is a good chance we do see some of this stuff. And if we don't see some of this stuff soon, we're going to miss the window of them actually doing anything, right? If we get these trap cards too late, dinosaurs are just never going to be a good deck, which is going to be such a shame, because I really want to play dinosaurs with these trap cards and have them be semi-competent. But right now, it's kind of, you know, what, SOD or bust. Another card that would be cool to get would be Dino Skeleton Pushera, but I don't know if we're going to get this card. This is, again, quite a relatively modern card. This is like, what, 8 months ago, I think this card came out. If you have a dinosaur-type normal monster in your graveyard, you can send the top 2 cards of a deck to the graveyard. One face-up dinosaur-type monster on your field gains attack equal to the number of dinosaur normal monsters in your graveyard times 300. So this is obviously not a once per turn, because, you know, it's all effects in Russia soft once. So if we do get multiple copies of this card, we can just keep slamming them down and stacking that buff up, which is really funny. And I really like this card. I think Konami knows not all decks have to be a good deck at some point. I think, though, it would be nice if they made an effort to make them, right? Even if a deck comes out, is like, it doesn't have to be like top tier. It just has to be playable, right? Like, if every deck at some point in their life could be a tier 3 deck, like at the bare minimum, that is, I think, all anyone really wants. Like, we're not saying, oh, you know, chairs have got to come out and they've got to be tier 0, right? Or not even that they have to be like a tournament winning deck. Just like, if you took it to a tournament, I would like to have a chance, right? I want my deck to not feel like it's just straight up not worth playing whatsoever. But that's what I would like, right? Because I think all of these decks are cool. I would like to play any of them. I would play Cats if I thought Cats would be somewhat competitively viable. Even if the cards on paper are garbage, they'd need like a really, really powerful skill to make that work. But like, just give me something, right? I think it's such a shame, especially because dinosaurs did see a little bit of a stint of playability in the physical game. It wasn't a very long stint, but it was there for like a month. Like for a month, people actually brought these to tournaments and they were okay. But if they don't give us the cards in a timely manner, it's going to be useless, right? It's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one. But I think with that, we might jump over and take a look at some statistics, since we kind of talked about all the new stuff and what we think is going to come out. So this is our spreadsheet. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen this spreadsheet before. So this is basically all of the tournaments that have had at least 16 players that we know of that have happened in the last couple weeks since the release of Steel Collider Mirror. So as we can see, the winning deck lists are Machine, 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 Aggro, Machine, Cyburst, Noodle Ninjas, and Machine. We have that kind of represented down here. The way we like to do this is that we have a point system, and we basically rate them based on position. So if it comes first, it gets 4 points. If it comes second, it gets 3 points. If it comes third or fourth, it gains 2 points. And if it's fifth to eighth, it gets 1 point. That lets us then create these over here, which gives us our point totals, which is, rather than just like seeing representation, this rates them based on their position as well as representation, right? So as you can see, in the top 4, Machine is very dominant. It's a little bit less dominant in top 8. But there are some decks that are just, they're performing well, they're just not breaking top 8, right? And those two are exactly Psychic and Blue Eyes. So Blue Eyes has 6 top 8s, 0 top 4s, which is a little bit of a shame. But it is what it is, right? Blue Eyes is still an okay deck. It's still doing fine. It's just not quite pushing itself above and over that threshold, which is a little bit of a disappointment. Then we've got the other kind of stragglers, which is Harpies, Royal Rebels, SCR, and Overlord, which are all, again, doing fine. They all have top 4 representation, but they're not like, they haven't won anything. Even when they're top 4ing, none of these decks have made it into the top 2. As you can see, the top 2 is entirely represented here, so it's entirely Machine, Cyburst, Aggro, Noodles, and nothing else, right? So they're a bit falling behind the wayside a little bit. Then we've got Aggro, which is, again, doing well. It's only got 1 top 2 and only a grand total of 2 top 4s. So it's still a little bit behind the other decks, but it's still doing quite well. Then we have Noodle Ninjas, which is, I think, doing quite well. It has a tournament win. It has multiple top 4s. A lot of that is me, but, you know, other people do play this deck. It's just a shame that not many more do. Cyburst is actually popping off quite a lot recently. It has won a tournament, only the one so far. But if we take a look, second place, second place, second place, it's performing really well to have 7 top 4 results, which is really, really strong. That is like so good. I'm a top 8 in Quantum Rush with Psychics. And there you are. You're one of these two, right? Where is it? Quantum Rush. There you are. I think, is that you? And then you're also, is this you as well? Or is this not you in the other Quantum Rush? There are 2 Psychics that made top 8. I don't know if they were both you or not. But that's kind of the data, right? Machines are, without a doubt, like popping off the hardest. Then we've got Cyburst just behind it, Noodles, etc., etc. So why are we talking about this? Because other was Ari. Yes, Ari is the other one that I see a lot of people talking about as being like a good Psychic player. So, you know, we got some competition. Who's the best Psychic player? Is it Manicist? Is it Ari? Both have only made top 8. Neither of them have broken top 4 yet. Maybe they're just going to race to see who can top 4 first. But we're going to be looking again at our little tier lists because we like our little tier lists. And we did make one before. We didn't make a video about it or anything. But we've had another couple of weeks, or another week. I think we did it about a week ago. We had a few more tournament results. So we kind of wanted to revisit this because we are going to be making a video. And we wanted to like see what, you know, you guys' opinion was. Like, what do you think the deck's kind of live? So we just looked at the data. So now we're just going to see where we place them. And we'll start with Cyburst. Cyburst is a really good one. I usually have Cyburst at the top of tier 3. I think I'm going to put it up to the bottom of tier 2 now. Cyburst is a weird one because Cyburst has so many weird little problems. It's a deck that has almost entirely low defense monsters. I think every monster in this archetype, apart from like outliers like Cycloptron, have 100 or 0 defense. And that makes them very, very awkward. As well as the fact that their skills are, again, a little awkward, but they're still good, right? Losing a card from your hand means you can put a maximum piece to the top of your deck, but you can also put it at the bottom of your deck, which means if it's something you just don't want, or you have too many high levels, you can just get rid of it, which is a really nice consistency tool. Being able to cheat monsters out a little bit easier is also really, really nice. Their boss monsters are actually pretty good, especially at, what's he called? Is it Atron? Not Atron. Atrashoot Hydron. That thing is actually pretty good. But yeah, Quantum wasn't considered. Well, he hasn't got a top 8 yet. Listen, right? Quantum gets a top 8 on Psychic. Suddenly he's in the running. Until he does that, he's a step behind. Cyburst is very popular among Japanese players, I think, but having so low defense is definitely a big downside. I think one of the benefits that it has right now is a lot of people have stopped playing Shield and Sword. And because of that, it becomes a lot harder to punish the deck. So a lot of decks also can struggle to just deal with a massive, like, maximum that just hits the field. Like, you kind of need very specific outs. And even TSA is a lot weaker now because we now have access to a card like Negate Attack. On top of the fact that we also have the Recital, which is still around, right? You can still use Recital to protect your maximum monster, as long as your opponent is attacking with a level 8 or lower monster. So, I think because of the way their meta is going, this deck is suddenly seeing a lot more playability. Obviously, some people will be like, well, they have, you know, Chaos Femtron. Chaos Femtron definitely helps, but I don't think it on its own has propelled this up. I think the introduction of Negate Attack has also had a really big impact on this deck performing a lot better. Then there's Blue Eyes. I think Blue Eyes for me is going to be around the top of tier 3 now. I think Blue Eyes is... It's still Brick Eyes Cope Dragon a lot of the time. I think the best players we have seen playing this deck are really stuffing cards into their deck to let them plus as much as possible, just so that they can unbrick as much as possible. Hello, Rushdoll. WCS finalist Quantum Cubes. Could you imagine? Well, Quantum's got to hit King of Games first. I don't believe he's actually managed that just yet. But soon, soon. Then we've got... I don't know, there's not really much else to say about the old Blue Eyes. It's okay. It has high defense value. It does have a lot of like powerful outs. It's not very good at beating set 3 past. You kind of have to play Torna to be able to do that. But it's pretty good. SOD. I don't think we really need to put SOD on the tier list right now. I think this is the Red Eyes version of Blue Eyes, and this is going to be behind this version. I think the like pure variant is better, so we are going to go with that for now. Then there's Overlord. I think Overlord is a weird one. I kind of want to put it near the top of tier 3. It's kind of fallen off a cliff, right? We haven't really been seeing Overlord much. Like in tournaments, it's not really being seen. In point battle rooms, it's not really being seen. In a weird way, as Cyburst has risen, Overlord has fallen. And it's a really weird like, trend that we're seeing, I suppose. I took Friday off at my job. I will try hard during qualifiers, I believe. Although, it's only going to be stage 1, right? On this Friday, so... Negate Attack actually helped versus Magnum. I mean, that's what I think a lot of people expected. I think the reason Negate Attack was released was because Magnum was the most frustrating thing in the meta. So we got rid of him, which has done the job, but now Negate Attack has like these other weird problems attached to it. Magnum is more maximum win that turn. I mean, yeah, exactly. But again, if they have Negate Attack, they can stop that. But then you do also get the argument of if you have your own Negate Attack, you can attack into them, then they'll Negate Attack you. Then they'll use like Shield and Sword, or well, not Shield and Sword, they'll use like TSA on you and then try and attack of you, and then you can Negate Attack them back, and then just kill them again on the following turn. Like, it is a bit weird. With your Drago, you can grind more, even maximum more games. Yeah. But in general, if you can just win the game, that is generally better, right? But it's can you win the game, right? That's always the big question mark on it. Then we got Noodles, and this is going to be... So we have 2 different Noodles on it, because this is what the Japanese do, right? They have split Noodles into the 2 different decks. This is the, you know, roastery, all in on spice, make 3 giant attack guys, attack and try and kill your opponent. This is the, like, slower control Bernie style of deck, right? So that's... We split these up. I think it makes sense. Like, any of these decks that just summon, like, 3 big attack guys and try and kill your opponent are in a lot weaker spot right now. So I don't think they're going to be seeing as much representation. And even when they are seeing representation, they're not getting the results because we're in the slime and we are in the Negate Attack meta, which just shut these down quite a lot. The thing with Magnum is, unlike your Drago, it can't change defense position monsters to attack so easily. It's a weird one, though, because you can still do it, right? Because the decks typically are playing 3 copies of Torna, which is not ideal, because if you think about it, you'd have to go, like, Torna... Normal summon a monster, tribute for Torna, discard for Torna, then you've got 2 cards in hand, right? So it doesn't work out quite the same unless you do it the previous turn or have some setup beforehand, but it is still doable, right? Old Noodles feels like new Psychics. Yes, in a lot of the same way. They have a lot of the same weaknesses. I think that's another issue we're having. Any deck that just commits to summoning 3 guys on board and can't just immediately kill your opponent feels like they're in a pretty bad spot right now, which includes SAR. This is probably going to go here. SAR is another deck, we're probably going to move this up actually, feels like they are also in a weird spot where the deck's still fine, the deck can still win, the deck still does win. It's not winning enough. The deck is still fine. I do not think this deck is suddenly bad. Being in tier 3. Tier 3, by the way, it does not mean bad. These decks are all still very capable of winning a tournament. They're just less likely to win than the stuff above them. That's kind of how I look at this, right? I think 7's Axel Road is in another weird spot where you kind of have to commit a lot of guys to the field. You have to rely on changing defense position monsters to attack mode with Torna. You ideally want to just be blasting on all cylinders to try and get as much damage in as possible, which doesn't work a lot of the time in this current meta, again, because we are in Slime Negate Attack meta. And the Boogeyman still exists, who does like to punish you for playing 3 attack position monsters. So there is also that. Then we have Mirror Innovator and the Machine deck, and I think it's so hard to argue that Machines is not just head and shoulders above everything else. Look, they have 5 tournament wins. The most that any other deck has is 1. I mean, just look at how much blue are on these pie charts, right? It's so hard to make an argument that it is not the best deck, and it is doing so much better than everything else. Having easy access to Pierce is insane. The deck can out maximum monsters without having to run TSA, just because Mirror Innovator itself can get to those really high numbers. It is so good. And that's not even talking about the other little tricks the deck can do. One thing I will say is, Machines are Mirror Innovator and friends. If you do not see Mirror Innovator, for whatever reason, if you have 3 copies at the bottom of your deck is now shit, right? Your deck is now like a bottom of tier 3 deck. It is now possibly a rogue deck. It is like the worst deck in the game, unless you see Mirror Innovator, then it becomes extremely powerful. So there is that to take note of as well. It's just the best deck. What else do we need to say? It's incredible. Then we have the Noodles. Noodles is going in straight into 2nd place. Noodles is so good, and I am actually a little bit shocked that nobody plays this deck. It is so weird to me. So we have recently started up a Rush Duel like league, right? Like a war thing. And in that, Noodles have the most representation of any deck. They are seeing more play than Machines. But in tournaments, people just aren't playing this deck, and I don't know why. I don't know if people are like holding it because it's their secret sauce, but Noodles are so very, very powerful. They have so many different options available to them. Their main actual strength is that you don't have to have any limit 3s, which means you'll have full access to all of the limit 3s and all of those really powerful trap cards to help deal with them. Noodles are a good counter to Machine, so I would make an argument that Machines is one of Noodles' worst matchups. But that is with a caveat that Noodles don't really have horrific matchups. I do think that Machines are a little bit favored in the Noodle matchup. I think it's like 55 Machine, 45 Noodle. And I think the only deck that's better at beating Machines is the aggro deck. Aggro is very, very strong into Machines because into Noodles, sorry. I should rephrase that entirely. Aggro is very, very strong into Noodles because if you're able to apply enough pressure, Noodles kind of fall apart because a lot of the time Noodles feel like they need time. You just need a little bit of breathing room so you can get all your back row down, you can get all your monsters on the field, you can find your extra spice, you can start burning, controlling. You've always got all this back row so you always feel safe and comfortable to do what you need to do. Decks that can kill you very, very quickly are the scary ones into that. League is important. More people relying on you to win. Tournaments, it's just you, so you play what you want for testing or try to mean to win. The thing is, a lot of people though, like if you compare the attendance to in tournaments of tournaments that have a cash prize to tournaments that don't, you see a massive drop-off. Like massive drop-off if it's not a cash prize. Which tells me a lot of the people playing in these events want to win the cash prize. And if you want to win the cash prize, surely then, you know, you bring your best deck and you try your best to win. So logically, I'm like, people should be trying to win these tournaments as well as the leagues, right? Now again, league is also a cash prize, as well as, like you say, you have people relying on you. So that is another thing. But I do think people should be bringing what they think is good. I think a lot of people just don't play Noodles. I think they just don't like the deck. It's not on their radar. They're just not a big fan. I think Noodles are great. I love Noodles. But it is what it is. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Royal Rebels. Royal Rebels, again, is a deck that's like fallen off a cliff. Like if we go and check out its representation, 3 top 8s, only 1 top 4. It's not been doing well. It's in a bit of a struggle street spot at the moment. I think this deck is still quite good, and I would arguably still have it in tier 2. We might move it up there in a minute, but for right now, I think I like it down here. Not a deck for me personally, and that is absolutely fine, right? But Royal Rebels are in a weird spot where they still have a lot of control over how you play games and how you build decks. If you commit to having 3 attack position monsters, Doom Metal can just punish you so heavily. And it is so good at doing that, which makes it so any deck that has to commit 3 to board, such as Blue Eyes, such as SAR, such as this Noodle build, all of these decks get beaten up by Royal Rebels, right? The weird thing is that Machines, they like to go wide. They like to have 3 monsters on field, but they can just play Mirror Innovator control. They can just set 2, slap down a Mirror Innovator, give it piercing, slam in, and then just keep doing that again and again and again until you win the game. So I think a lot of people don't go into deck build box, so don't have extra spice. I mean, that would make sense as well. But I think a lot of the people that are really like rush players are going to be doing that anyway. And a lot of the people that enter tournaments, again, you would expect them to be people that are really in on rush, right? And I think if you're in on rush, you want to have a lot of the good cards. There are the rush tourists, which are here to get gems or here to casually play some like ladder games. I think a lot of the time, if you're entering a tournament, it's because you're in, right? That's kind of how I look at it anyway. That might just be a misconception. That's kind of how I see it. Then we got Harpies. Harpies is another deck, which I think is a good deck. It's a strong deck. It's just, again, in a little bit struggle street. Like, Harpies haven't won a tournament. They have got 2 top 4 positions. The deck still is good, right? You can still change monsters from defense mode to attack mode. You can still gain a lot of attack. You can still get that damage in, which a lot of other decks can struggle to do. You don't have to commit to 3 attack position monsters. It's kind of just an all-rounder, like, fine deck. I think the issue that Harpies has right now is they're not doing anything flashy. They're not doing anything crazy. They're not just winning the game on the spot, which is what a lot of these other decks like to try and do. A lot of these other decks do, like, fancier things, and it's made Harpies feel like, oh, they're a solid option, why would you play it over X deck? Right, that's kind of where I look at Harpies at the moment. Then we got aggro. Aggro is gonna be somewhere here. I'm not sure where I want it. Probably here. I think aggro is it's so good. Aggro is so strong. It's a shame, right? Because again, I don't want to shit on anyone that plays aggro. Because the deck is like you're in a tournament, play what's good, right? Play to win. But aggro has been around forever. It's just good stuff pile with Dragius. It's very boring. I kind of like this deck to get phased out, but it feels like it's never going to go away. Like, eventually it will get power crept. Eventually. But how long will that be? Who knows? Harpies is noodle that can't burn. Harpies is noodle that can't burn. I think I understand what you're saying. In the sense that you can still play like a controlled, slower style game as Harpies, and you always have a way to get damage in. But I still think Noodle is on like a completely different level, just because Noodles have a good way to keep plussing and drawing extra cards. Harpies don't draw extra cards and they don't really plus at all, which means I think they are just worse at that, like in every way. So I think it's a bit weird. Aggro is so boring. How is the deck still a thing? It's still a thing because it's good. Like, it doesn't matter how boring a deck is. If the deck is good, if the deck is strong, if the deck wins. And it still takes a smart player to identify that a deck is good and to take that deck to a tournament. So people that are playing aggro and doing well, they're just smart people playing a good deck. That's all it is, right? The Harpies that top are playing control versions, if I recall correctly. I mean, yeah, they basically just have a lot more trap cards. All you really need for Harpies to work is a Harpy, and then you're good to go, right? Because you can then have all the tools you need between that and a skill, flip your opponent's guys up, get in for a chunk of damage, and then you just play a bunch of back row to protect you. So again, in a sense, yeah, they do play like Noodles, but I still think Noodles just do that so much better, right? I think Noodles is just better Harpies, but Harpies can play on a completely other axis, which I suppose you could make the argument Noodles can do as well. But yeah, I think Harpies is just worse in a lot of ways. So what's next? I guess we're starting to run out of decks. I think that's kind of... Is that it for the meta? Like, there are some other decks. So, alright, this is another thing. Grand was saying on his stream that he doesn't know why we had high potential. Because I think a lot of people look at high potential and they look at the tier lists on here, right? Because they are named the same, right? High potential. Typically, this is here because high potential exists because a deck is new, right? And because you don't know where it goes, it needs to be tested more, right? High potential in this scenario is more... There is still potential for these decks to do well in this meta. They are just yet to be proven, right? Like, we don't have enough data. We don't have enough tournaments. The tournaments don't have enough people to really say if this deck is good or bad yet, right? Yeah, I'd say high potential is like high rogue. Could be another way we could look at this. But like, I like to call it potential because I still think these decks could do really strong still. I think Thunder is pretty much rogue now. But I do think these two decks could still do something. I mean, maybe we move like Psychic down here as well, but I do like having these like above rogue. Because Thunder is just like doing nothing. We just haven't seen it do anything. It feels like we're past the point of still being coping on Thunders of like doing well. Someone would have picked this up. Someone would have done well with it if it was going to be doing anything. It's just not doing anything. At least this is topping, and this on paper just does what this deck does, but a little bit different. So like, I don't know. I suppose we should also talk about this. This did top, right? This was did this actually top? No, it didn't top. It did okay. I think it didn't actually make any of these. But like, it did okay in Grand's tournament. On my week off, I'm workshop my Psychics, get top 4 for sure. I mean, I hope you do. I would really like to see Psychics do it well. Like, I've tried to play them a bunch myself, and they feel a bit weird. I mean, I could also chuck all of these into Rogue, but I don't think we need them in Rogue, right? We know these are Rogue. We don't need to worry about slamming them all in. This is kind of how I see the meta right now. I think, again, you could move some of this around a little bit. I think machines are head and shoulders above everything else. I do not think this is a tier 0 meta. because I think like everything on here can beat machines, but machines will still win most of the time. I think Noodles are second best. I think Aggro is third best. Cyburst is fourth best. Cyburst, again, is a weird one for me, where every time I play against this deck, I dominate it, except when I don't. And in those games, you're never really sure if you just got like sacked or if the deck just got unlucky the times when you beat it. Like on the tournament on Sunday, I played against this deck 4 times, like in total, and I beat it 4 times. So I 4-0'd Cyburst, and it felt very easy. I don't know. It's a weird one. I mean, to be fair, one of those games was won off of a coin flip, so take that with a pinch of salt. But, and then playing in a league, this deck 2-0'd me. So, who knows? Who even knows? I think these decks are all potential to be the decks that go up a rank. I think realistically for me, everything up to Harpies has the potential to jump up to tier 2 with just like a little bit more representation, a little more like just doing a little bit more. Like they potentially could jump up, but until we see that, we're just going to have these be down here. I think these 3 are kind of going to stay down here. I don't think any of these 3 decks are really going to be able to push their way up into tier 2 personally. And then high potential, these are fine. I don't think anything down here has any chance of like doing anything. And then my webcam isn't blocking anything. That is literally it. It just ends on the dino. So yeah, I think that's happy. I mean, right, what do you guys think? Do you guys think any of this is glaringly wrong? Do you think there are any massive problems with this list as you see it? That's what I want to know. I like to workshop. We like to get feedback. We like opinions from people. So let me know if you think there's anything in here that stands out as being a bit like, oh, why is that there? Oh, that shouldn't be there. Oh, that's way too high. Oh, that's way too low. I think Aqua is rogue. I mean, all of these are rogue. So, like, I mean, I could just do this, right? Warriors are rogue. Ride Across maybe not so rogue. This is definitely rogue. This is rogue. This is probably rogue. That's rogue. The rest of these are maybe like a step below rogue. Oh, that's probably fine. These ones are definitely a step below rogue. I'll just drag all those in just for prosperity. I think Draconic Resonance is rogue. Maybe. I think there's an argument that all of these are rogue. Because, like, we could just change this. We could just change this word to high rogue. And then it becomes like, do you think these are still better than these, but, like, worse than these, I guess is the question. Ride Across tier 0? Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense. Aqua tier 1 in our hearts. You know, just saying, Aquas. Always got to represent the Aquas. I think Aqua is better than all the other rogue. Ooh, that is a spicy take. So outside of Shelmy, no one really plays Aqua, which makes it a difficult one to rate. Do I think Aqua would be better than any of the rest of the stuff? Realistically, Aqua is probably better than, like, Warriors. It's probably better than this. It's probably better than this. I think Aqua is pretty much on par with the rest of these, though. I think that's how I look at it. Very wrong. Probably not, but there should be 1 to 2 less decks in tier 3. So my question is, do you think that because you just don't like the aesthetics of the tier list, or do you think that because you think some of these decks are actually genuinely weaker? Because I've always been the kind of person that I want the tier list to just be representative of what I think rather than make it look nice. Like, I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, you've got to make it, like, you've got to have like a curve, right? You've got to make it look pleasant. You've got to have it, like, be formatted in a nice way. And I've always just been of the kind of person that's like, no, I don't care about that. I just want it to be actually representative of my opinions of the meta, right? Dean Keto tier 0 best MILF. Is she the best, though? I'm trying to think what other MILFs we even have in Rush. I mean, maybe. We got, like, some of the fairy stuff. I don't think we're going to count Mantle Vader. Like, what about Ginge Angel? You know, Ginge Angel's got to be up there, right? I don't know if this actually counts as a MILF. I don't know how old an angel is, but, you know, that exists. Psychics beat Aqua easy. Ooh, is that Zem's fighting words? Zombie bros don't even make the list. Zombies is just aggro. It's here. This is zombies. It's doing quite well. It's just, you know, the better builds aren't playing the zombie stuff. It's because zombies isn't a deck. That's the weird thing. Zombies is an engine. Like, that's kind of where it's at right now. At least Aquas gets to claim that they're a deck. But no one hates anything up here then. Like, no one thinks tier 1, 2, or 3, other than, like, maybe tier 3 is a bit too fat. Do you think Meta Gears will see future play? Meta Gears, right now, is in a weird spot. It did do okay. I think Whistling Bird was piloting this in Grand's tournament. And he did go 3-0 until he ran into me. And then I managed to beat him and knock him down. So it did okay in the latest event. Meta Gears does get a fusion as we go forward. So if we take a look, it's Meta Gear Star, I think it's called. If this ever loads, we will get to see it. Oh, here it is. Sturdy Strike. We can't really see that super well on here, but that's fine. Let's see if I'm making it. Sturdy Strike Dragon Meta Gear Star F. When this comes out, I would fully expect to see Meta Gears come into play, as long as the skills don't get all messy with it. But yeah, being able to send a predict to the graveyard, all face-up monsters on your field get 500 attack to the turn, also click 2 attacks on monsters. Just a generically good effect. And all face-up monsters on your field cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's trap card effects until the end of this turn. Also, it can make 2, or also it can attack twice. So this isn't just on monsters, it's just attack twice. Which is all of your opponent's life points, because it's got 3,000 attack. As well as all face-up monsters cannot be destroyed by traps. I think that is enough to be like, yeah, that'll see play, right? I don't think that the aggro noodles are that good, and I'm not quite sure about Spellcaster. So, I get what you're saying. But these two can still just win out of nowhere, and I think they are still better than these three. That's kind of how I see them. They are still seeing some play as well. Like, it's not like nobody's playing these decks. In some Japanese events, this is still seeing play, and this is still seeing play even in our events, and is doing okay. Like, this has tops. Like, I mean, if we go and take a look at the stats, SAR has 1 top 4 and 3 top 8s. Like, it's still doing well. The Noodles is more of a... It's more of a, like, point battle stomper, I guess is the way to think about it. But I do understand, like, maybe dropping it down a bit. I still think it would still be better than these. I still think we kind of put it up here, if anywhere. I don't think the Red Eyes version of Blue Eyes should be there. Okay. I think that's probably fine as well. Like, they're just kind of extras. Like, we could probably even just take it off the list entirely, to be honest. The issue is, the reason I like to have these separated and still have them both on the list is just because a lot of people look at this and they go, I've played against this deck and it was shit. Why is Noodles in second place? And then you have to explain to them that they're like different decks. So that's why I like having both Noodles represented. Personally, that's the logic. But yeah. Tomato has a habit of meeting the rogue decks in the top cut and stopping us topping. I mean, play a good deck and then you'll beat me and top. What more do you want from me? I don't know. Just get good. Just play Essel. I seem to lose to that card constantly. That's the secret to beating me. Just run Essel. Yeah, I think the rest of this looks fine, right? So nobody has said anything about any of these decks up here, except I guess this one. I still think this one deserves to be up there personally. Maybe that's rose tinted goggles on my part, but I do think this deck is like okay. Like low tier 3, I think suits it. If I could run Essel, I would. Or just play it in a different deck. Easy. You know, or play a different skill. You can play Essel in the other psychic skill. So just, you know, move things around a bit. You can make it work. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with this. The only thing that's really changed here is we swapped this and this around. But that's the only thing that's really happened. Other than that, this is basically the same list we had last time. I do think a lot of people still sleep on Cyberse, and I think a big part of that is that people don't like Cyberse. I think it's the same thing with aggro. A lot of people really sleep on aggro because they want aggro to go away. And I think or as much as I don't like playing against aggro, and as much as it hurts the decks that I play, and, you know, I don't like admitting that aggro is a particularly strong deck because then more people will play it. It's hard to deny that the deck does get results. It's always doing well. It's popping off. It's a strong deck. So aggro, I think, deserves tier 2 placement, no matter what anyone says, no matter how much people don't like this deck. It's strong. It's piloted by strong players. It's doing well. And I think the same with Cyberse as well. I think it's a bit of a weird one, where I think all of these tier 2 decks are kind of disliked quite a lot. I think a lot of people don't like Noodles because they don't like getting burned and they don't like getting stalled against. A lot of people don't like aggro because it's a bit boring, it's been around forever. And a lot of people don't like Cyberse because it's been around for a long time. People haven't really gelled with this deck a ton, as well as the fact that it does feel kind of sacky a lot of the time when it does get wins. So, like, I think unanimously this tier 2 is decks that someone or other just does not like them. Like, they're the most disliked decks. Then, like, tier 3 is kind of chill right now. I don't think most people hate Doom Metal. Overlord's calmed down a lot, so I think people are a bit more welcoming of this deck now than they were. Blue Eyes is generally fine. Harpies is okay now. SAR's fine. And people, I think, don't even actually hate Machine that much. I think the only problem people have with Machines is that it's getting a little bit too much over-representation. And any time a deck gets like that, people will just naturally be like, oh man, I've played against 13 Machines today. I'm getting bored of Machines. And that's completely understandable. I think the deck itself is still fine. I don't think people, like, hate the deck. They hate the fact that it's being played so much. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I think we're quite happy with this. The question is, what decks are people going to be playing in the upcoming tournaments, right? In the upcoming qualifiers. That's going to be the big one. But we are now going to start closing up the stream. Oh, our camera's gone. There we go. So we are going to start ending the stream. We are going to raid into Icy, which we don't get to do very often. We do love raiding into Icy because Icy is our bro. So we are going to be doing that. We will be back again on Thursday, where we will be playing in the Angel Cup once again. So I hope that some of you decide to enter that as well. I think Essel is what makes Machines too good. It's the same with aggro, really. I think if you take away Essel, Machines and aggro become regular power level again. So there is that. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.